Hello and welcome to this cold, chilly February day. How are we doing today, Turtle?
I'm doing good today, Dub. Ready to watch some League of Legends. We're all prepped and ready for this match today.
Heck yeah, me too. I'm super excited for it. Even though it's going to be chilly, I'm ready for some hot plays today coming from SSU. So I'm really excited to see the event and see how it's going to be going out today. We've got SSU versus Oberlin Red today. How are you feeling about this matchup, Turtle?
Looking at the teams and looking how they're structured, they have a couple similar picks to us, and so we're looking to try to get some prio on some of the more popular picks in this current meta, and look to snowball the game early and look to try to close it out very early on and get a quick win today. I know the guys are all ready for this match too. They've got a couple picks that they've been trying to pick up, looking for a couple good things to go through with this game coming up today. I know one of the big proportions I think that's gonna be a central focus of the beginning of this game is going to be that bot lane and mid lane, little 2v2 in that bot side of the map. So we're probably gonna see a lot of early dragon fights and stuff of that nature.
Yep, I'm very excited, and apologize for that. I had a bit of a technical difficulty there on my microphone. But aside from that, I'm excited to see you. You mentioned real quick how the teams are very similar, and I agree. We're both 2-2 on the record, and given that they also play similar champions, do you think this is going to be a really close matchup today?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be very jungle focused because I think with how the meta was the last couple weeks, we did get a big jungle change this patch. So I think we could see a lot of jungle fights trying to look to try to get some more gold that the junglers have lost from the recent changes.
Yes, that. Those changes are going to be very big in the jungle today, and it's going to be very exciting to see just how that's going to impact the game and how it's going to go. I'm very excited for it, and I'm just right now we're just waiting on the draft, and once the draft gets started, we'll go for a little break here before the draft gets started, and Turtle will step out, and then I'll go ahead and I'll call over the draft. So if you would like to, we can go to break right now, so that way we'll see you in draft mode then. Hello and welcome back. We are in the draft mode, starting off early with a first GP ban. That's going to be a GP ban for SSU, obviously targeting the top laner here. They're a little bit scared of the Marcella. They know that he's very strong on that gangplank there. And it looks like they're going to be banning out the Morgana as well. The Morgana is, of course, a very strong pick in the bot lane right now. With that black shield on her, she can keep her ADC and her engage people alive most of the time on those engages. So a very hot pick to get rid of here. Sejuani ban coming down. Of course, we've got a Sejuani one trick on the other team, so they're not going to let him sit on his comfort pick. There's no point to let him sit on his comfort pick. Seraphine, another high priority pick, going to be banned out by Oberlin Red, mainly because Seraphine's, again, a very strong pick that both teams equally play, so it's better to just have that piece off the playing field and try to make sure that no one person gets a hold of it. Looks like Seraphine ban, or excuse me, the Senna ban and Ivern ban going to be coming out. Obviously, we know Jeremy is very scary and very strong on that Ivern pick, so they're not going to want him to have that in his hands. Unfortunately, we do see the Rel pick coming out here, and that's going to be going to Jacob. And Godzilla Flip here, Jacob, is going to be picking that Rel. He has been playing that quite a bit, and it is a very strong pick for him. Thresh pick going to be coming out to counter that Rel, going to be using the Flay and Peel tools to prevent the Rel from engaging. Of course, if Rel can get a good engage off of Thresh, she's going to be able to pull some serious team fights on top of him and his team. So it looks like we're going to be having Oberlin Red pick here. They might be picking their ADC, possibly mid laner here. They might even go for a jungler here. So we could see any one of those popping up here, and they're not hovering anything right now. We got about 3 seconds left till they pick. And then, of course, Jeremy will be up next to pick. And it looks like they're going to be taking the Misfortune. Going to be taking that away from Mitch Fortune, of course, because, again, that is his comfort pick. And as we said in the intro, we both know that both teams are pretty similar here. And given that they're pretty similar, I can imagine that their ADC is going to be pretty comfortable on that Misfortune. That does, of course, leave a lot of other stronger ADCs open. And look, that's another strong ADC, Sivir right now. Sivir is a very scary ADC right now. She's got a particular build that makes her very strong. And I know with a lot of those buffs and a lot of the, and right now, movement speed in the meta, movement speed. If you can move fast, you can get that enemy team out of whack. And look, the Lilia pick coming in here, movement speed, just staying right on that. This team is looking to team fight, catch targets, and be slippery in every way they can. Looks like they're now Oberlin Red's going to be wanting to respond to this. They now know the bot lane and the jungler here, so they're going to want to be picking the jungler, probably to counterpick that Lilia. Or they might be going for a top laner here, it looks like. So they're going to be picking that Poppy. So that leaves room for the top laner to be able to counterpick here, because we now know what their bot lane is. We now know what their bot lane is, and we now know what their top laner is. So that could easily leave it open for a counterpick on the top side. That, of course, could be a Poppy jungle as well. But it looks, because they're banning out the Shen, it looks like that Poppy might be going top lane, because they do not want that Shen to follow up on that Poppy. Even though she can put that shield down, that Shen just has a lot of global map pressure that Poppy just can't follow up. Another ban coming out for SSU here, so they're thinking right now going to be picking either the jungler or the mid laner here. So not sure what they're going to be banning. And 1 second left, Zoe going to be gone. That is definitely going to be a high priority pick. Zoe dishes out long damage from apart, picking off priority targets. Not going to be necessary. SSU does not want that to happen to their team, because Sivir only has 1 shield and Lilia has only 1 health bar. And Zoe can get rid of both of those very quickly. So we are now looking at another ban coming here for Oberlin Red. Oberlin Red is probably going to be looking to ban a mid laner or a top laner, and it looks like they're going to be banning a top laner, which is interesting to see, because I do know that Arctic Wolf is very comfortable on Urgot. He doesn't play it as much, but he is comfortable on it, so they don't want to have him play that into the Poppy. And it looks like we're going to be going into the final ban here. Final ban phase for SSU. They've got 10 seconds left to pick here. And they are now thinking of what they want to ban. Do they ban another mid laner? Do they ban a jungler here? What do they ban? I think they're going to be prioritizing the mid lane. Of course, there it is. Syndra ban going to be coming out. So that leaves now easy counter picks for the mid lane and for the jungle. So we're about to see here what's going to be picked here. This might be the mid laner for Oberlin Red here. We'll see what he's going to pick in just a moment. About 6 seconds left. He's hovering Azir here and is going to lock it in. That's going to be a very interesting pick against this team. He's going to be trying to get those. He's going to be trying to get behind those high priority targets and knocking them into his team. If he can get a good 4-man ulti off into that Misfortune, that's going to be devastating for SSU. Of course, SSU has a lot of pick and peel with that Rel, and with the movement speed from Sivir's R, it's going to be hard to catch. It's going to be hard to catch SSU on any rotations or picks. And Sion going to be coming out for the Arctic Wolf top lane. We do know that Arctic Wolf, that is his signature pick. He is very comfortable on that Sion. He knows it really well. And from what I'm seeing of this team comp, the Arctic Wolf, the Rel, Sivir, Lilia, Sion, and it looks like, oh, was it Nico? Oh no, it looks like it's going to be Ziggs here. Might be Ziggs here. Oh, Nico, and it's going to be a lock-in on the Nico. Okay, with that Nico lock-in, that's going to be a lot of team fight potential and peel potential, believe it or not, SSU now has. So even if Azir does get in and try to kill anyone on SSU's team, they're going to have a ton of disengage with the Lilia Sleep, the Sion CC, the Sivir ultimate, the Rel, and the Nico ultimate. All going to be able to peel very nicely. It looks like Oberlin Red's going to be going for more of a pick team instead of a team fight team. They do have an Irelia top lane here to counter that Sion, and it looks like that it is a Poppy jungle instead of another jungler, which is very interesting. I have not seen Poppy jungle, but knowing how those jungle changes have impacted the game, I can 100% understand why they would pick Poppy, because she is a high priority target that can ult people off of things and separate SSU's teams. And because Poppy wants to separate the team, that basically can let Oberlin Red attack on top of SSU here. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup, knowing both these teams are pretty equal. They're both toe 2, so we're looking for a very high impact, high caliber game right here. So thank you very much. We'll be back after the loading screen to get to your commentary, and Turtle will be joining us in just a moment. Welcome back. We've got Turtle here with us once again. How do you feel that draft went for SSU?
With the draft, we got the 2 priority picks of the Rel and the Lilia, which are very strong in the current meta and have a good combo well around. And Sivir has got an interesting build that has just arisen too, and she has a lot of strength, and she does good into the likes of like a Thresh MF lane after the first couple of levels or so. So I think we have a lot of power going into mid game fights. So it's going to be a bit mid focus or mid game time focused game. We're going to be seeing a lot of fights, and it's going to be very much dictated. Going to look to try to close out a little early because the Azir Irelia threat in the late game is like worrisome to look out for.
Yeah, that is very interesting. And one thing I did mention about the Poppy is with those jungle changes, I'm thinking they picked the Poppy mainly because of her ultimate. SSU is looking to want to team fight and get a full team fights off. And if Poppy can get people off of priority targets using her ultimate, that's going to let Oberlin Red utilize their team comp much better, because their team comp is much more pick oriented in solo kill. They don't want a full out team fight. They want to pick people off slowly one by one and fight little skirmishes here or there. They do have some full team fight potential with Misfortune and the Azir, her. But after that, the follow-up's a little bit lacking because Irelia can get CC'd down very easily in team fights, and if she can't get to the back line, she's not going to be able to do much. So if they're able to separate SSU here and pick them off one by one, that's going to be a very huge advantage for them, of course. But that's left up for debate. We don't know if they're going to be able to utilize that Poppy ultimate effectively because they might try to go for 1v1 full-on team fights. And depending on how those go, SSU is definitely going to be coming out on top most of the time with that Lilia ulti, being able to CC down multiple team members all at once with very little effort.
Yeah, another thing with the jungle changes is that utility tanks that can farm relatively quickly come up in prio. And if I remember from like I played a little Poppy jungle like a season ago, her early clear wasn't like the best, but it also wasn't the worst. So depending on how she's able to clear these early camps is going to be very like how the game's going to turn out. Because if the Lily is able to get her nice like start to the game, get her a couple camps in, maybe pick up a crab, look for a gank. She does have a lot of setup in like every single one of these lanes. Like Nico can set up really well onto the Azir. The Scion can help set up on the Irelia. You have to watch for a turnaround, but like if Jeremy's able to out pressure this Poppy, which he should be able to do, it's going to set up SSU very well.
Yeah, and I don't know, are you loaded in quite yet on your spectator?
Yeah, I'm at like 40 seconds. Yeah, I'm all loaded up.
Alrighty. I am also loaded in 40 seconds. It is the beginning of the game, and we are ready to go.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
20 seconds. For our streaming camera, go ahead and hit the plus button to fast forward as far as you possibly can in the stream so you can catch up with the actual gameplay. It'll stop automatically at the maximum.
We thought SSU looked like they were going to go for the cheeky little invade, but they got spotted out by the Thresh early, so they ended up backing off of that one. It looks like we're just going to get a standard 5-point setup, get a couple wards, make sure there's no like invade shenanigans going on, and both junglers are going to be starting on that bot side of the map, so we could see a lot contest over this top Scuttle Crab.
Yep, and it looks like that Scuttle Crab is going to be definitely the first contested. And we'll be seeing that Scuttle Crab and most likely tops or mid ganks here. And knowing how things are going to go, I think that might be a mid gank as well. So knowing how Nico can easily get CC off, Jeremy I think is going to want to prioritize that Scuttle Crab top lane and then immediately try to go for a mid gank. Or top lane. It's possible that Irelia is going to push up on this Scion, but I highly doubt it. Usually Irelia doesn't want to push up too much in her lane because she's very vulnerable in early levels.
Yeah, and with this bot lane focus matchup, it's going to be like relatively difficult for the Sivir Rel to combat in that first like first 1 to 3 level. They're going to really start trying to come online in this lane on that level 5 to like 7 power spike. And basically with the top lane, Sion's mostly just going to get pushed in like the majority of the game.
So yeah, even though Irelia is vulnerable early on, she's going to have a big advantage on top of that Sion in the games. So that's going to be very tough for him to be able to push up and do much. He's going to be under tower most of this game. So we might be seeing that top lane gank here coming after Lilia moves to her blue buff. Looks like right now she's moving to her wolves. And Poppy is currently on her red buff. Poppy actually skipped a buff this time around, so she's actually going to be hurting herself in jungle on jungle gold and experience when she enters the lane for a gank here.
And with this new jungle change, that you want to get as many experience as you can get, especially with the Wolf camp that was unnerfed, so those are very much prior. It looks like is going to try to look for an early gank on the mid lane though, as it's about midpoint as they go in on him, but Humble with the little Nico W just gets out of there.
They're going to walk away and get a significant amount of damage off onto the Azir. So actually Azir got punished for that gank more so than he did. And so now he's just trying to poke out here. He knows his jungle's in the river, so we know he can step up here a little bit in the minion wave and just kind of poke him down. Azir is now forced to back, and Poppy's going to be going to take that bottom scuttle. Right now, Jerbear is ahead in the jungle. He has almost full cleared his jungle, including with the Scuttle Crab. After the Scuttle Crab, he will have full cleared his jungle. So he is going to be a level or 2 ahead up on this Poppy by the time he leaves jungle and starts trying to get pressure in lanes.
He also delayed his take on the blue up there so he can get his camps a little reset faster and have that early prior on the Skull Crab. I do want to point out that Irelia did cheat a recall in the top lane and looking up to pick up that cold so she can try to snowball the significant advantage she does have into the Scion. So that's a point of contention to watch. See if she is able to stack that effectively and hit the CS marks that she's going to be looking for.
Absolutely. And it's interesting to see Humble now. He's low on mana. Azir has just backed. So right now, Humble's going to be looking for a reset here. If Poppy can get another gank off, she might be able to get a kill or a flash out of the Nico. But I don't think that's going to happen with Nico backing right now. Bot lane skirmish just going off a little bit. MF is, of course, a little bit ahead of the Sivir. Just having that early pressure in lane. As you said, it's going to take him a while to hit that full force in the bot lane. So right now, MF and Thresh are just pushing their lead and are keeping that ahead right now. And hopefully Lily is going to look for a gank at some point. Probably when she pings 6, she'll be looking bot lane to gank here. And what she is going to gank here is going to be mid. Ooh, it looks like we're going to be getting an engage on the rail here. Going to be attacking onto the Thresh. Thresh hook going to be down by the shield. Lilia going to be coming in. Going to miss the seed. Now she's going to have to back off. TP coming in from the Nico and from the Azir. Both of them following in. Rel back on her steed. Nico coming in for the flash stun. Gonna miss the flash stun. Gonna get the Q off onto the Thresh. Thresh is gonna fall here. MF's gonna be turning on the Nico. Heal's gonna be coming down on the mid-fortune. Rel going back in. Gonna be another kill onto the Azir here for Godzilla Flip. And SSU's gonna be coming out for the first fight of the game at 2-0.
And with looking at that early fight, it's actually very problematic for Oberlin because Azir actually had a very nice freeze set up onto the Nico that could have been punished by a Poppy gank, but because he wasn't able to come back and pick up that lane, it's gonna push into the Nico, and if Humble rotates back to the mid lane, he's gonna catch a very nice wave. But if he doesn't, he's gonna lose a lot of golden XP, so even though they did get that double kill in the bot lane, for the side of SSU, Humble could end up losing a lot more in that mid lane because there's a good 2 waves that are gonna be crashing into that turret here.
Yep, and it looks like Azir's going to be getting that prio, as you mentioned. But unfortunately, I think with those 2 kills bot lane, it's going to be big. But Lily is going to be catching this mid lane here. And I think that's going to be more beneficial for her in the long run because not only is she already ahead of the Poppy in the jungle, she's going to be even more ahead with that extra CS in the mid lane and the experience. So by the time it comes to mid game, Lilia is going to be 1 or 2 levels up on the Poppy, and that's going to give them Smite priority on top of the Dragon and on top of the Baron when that comes around to it. And hey, look at this, Even though Irelia is beating down the Sion and Sion's a level down on her, he's still able to trade her because of his tankiness and because of his very clever use of that tower being his best friend.
Yeah, and in that mid lane, Humble was able to get back in enough time to pick up most of that CS, so he didn't end up losing too much in the process. And looking at this bot lane, with Jeremy looking to come back onto this bot side of the map with his red buff spawning, there is a push coming in the favor of SSU, but it looks like Nico could overextend here as the Poppy goes in.
Yeah, Poppy is going to go in, get a kill. He's going to get on that Nico. Nico's going to be ulting away, going to get the stun shield off, going to be following down. It looks like bot lane's going to start roaming up. Looks like a thing top lane is going to be coming off here too. Irelia is going to be getting engaged by the Lilia. Arctic Wolf going to be getting the stun, sleep down, and massive damage coming out of the Irelia. Irelia is going to fall. Nico is still running on the bot side. She is taking laps around the wolves here, and we've got the entirety of Overlin chasing her down, and it is going to be a kill secure, maybe kill secure onto the Azir for the Nico. But Nico is able to suspend most of their time that, bot lane was able to push up, and now they should be able to get prio or a plate.
Another thing to look at, Humble actually did a good job stalling out there because if they got that early pick onto Humble with the wave crashing into SSU, they could have picked up an early dragon there, but him running around and distracting him allowed SSU to actually get the counter push and Jeremy to make his way down. So it gave them a little awkward scenario that they actually weren't going to get a free dragon that could have been potential.
Yep. SSU turned a bad situation into an okay situation, and that is definitely what we want to see. We want to make sure that SSU is staying on top of that. And right now, Oberlin Red is just trying to pull out all the stops and see what they can get where they can. And as we're coming in here to the mid game, as I mentioned, Lilia's already a level up on that Poppy because of that mid wave, because of that early first clear. She now has 3 assists and lucidity boots, so Lilia is going to be a huge factor in team fights in these late team fights here, especially with with the items she's going to be building. Because as you said, XP is very big in the jungle right now, and with Lilia having that XP lead, it's going to be very difficult for Poppy to be able to catch back up. Looks like we got Irelia going in here on Sion. Sion just not taking damage as she's going to walk away from this. And Azir's going to be trading in the mid lane as well, and it looks like nothing's really going on bot lane. So right now we're just doing lane phase things. Everyone's just trading in their own little respective areas. Everyone's kind of pushing things. Lilia just backed. She's going to be coming back to lane. Blue buff, Gromp coming up. And right now Drag and Rift are up. So Lilia's going to be looking for one of those huge objectives right now. And I think with Lilia going top lane, if Oberlin Red was smart here, they would know that Lilia's bus just came up. she's going top lane, they would try to force something bot lane. They have the prio, they have the dragon pressure. They could easily go on dragons with all the wards and stuff they have down there. They're not taking that advantage. They're not taking that step. And right now you've got Poppy on the same side of the map as Lilia, and Lilia, as we know, is 2 levels ahead of the Poppy, so she's going to be able to be more impactful when it comes to moving towards these buffs.
I also just want to point out the level gap that's in the jungle. As actually, there might be a trade in the top lane. Looks like they're just going to end up backing out here because he just saw the Poppy, shouldn't try to overextend. But as I was talking about, the level gap that is in the jungle right now, that jungle XP change, as long as Poppy, like I said, I wasn't sure she would have the quickest clear, and Lilia being a very fast clearing jungler herself, she's able to get 2 level leads. She even stole the crab away from the Poppy, like, it went down to 1 HP, so it was unfortunate on Poppy's behalf. But she's starting to get a very big, sizable lead in that jungle, and it's gonna make these dragon take that could have ended up going into the slight favor of Oberlin because of this nature of their team fighting, or their team fighting ultimate they have with Misfortune. It's gonna go in the favor of SSU because Jeremy's got some good levels up on this Poppy.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the gold gap too. We've already got almost a 2K gold gap between Oberlin and SSU, and I think that's all right now. That is all on the jungle. The jungler right now is definitely owning most of the gold difference, especially, yeah, it's almost a 1K gold difference in the jungle. And it looks like you also have and then between SSU, it looks like the gold difference is just big enough that they're able to make up that 2K gold difference. But that's a 1K gold difference on just the junglers alone. That's huge for SSU. That means Jeremy is going to be able to be very big in the game, especially now that he's Hearthstone. You've got a huge engage coming down here. Rel going to be looking for the engage in the bot lane. Sion going to be coming in, getting the ult off onto the Thresh. Thresh ulti going to be coming down. Misfortune kiting down the Sion. Sion is going to be walking away. They're going to be looking for that dragon pressure.
We could see a potential dive in the top lane.
Yep, potential dive in the top lane. Of course, that might not happen. It looks like Poppy's just going to back off here. Going to be giving up the dragon and a dive top lane. So it looks like SSU is going to be getting the first dragon of the game.
It was a little. I feel like that was a little forced on the behalf of SSU. I don't feel like they had. I really like it stuck under the tower, and Humble ends up getting a solo kill.
Humble taking it back, just getting that huge turnaround onto the Aurelia. Aurelia took a step too far forward under that tower. Definitely did not take that trade appropriately. And it looks like Misfortune's going to be slowing onto the Sivir here. Sivir's going to be walking away. They're looking for a fight bot lane, but I'm not sure they can take it.
I was gonna say, I think it was a little overzealous of SSU trying to go for the or that bot lane play, wasting Sion, because Sion kind of lost a decent amount in that top lane. I know he's Sion, he gets his little farm, he gets his tanky stats, but if it's like really able to snowball and put a lot of pressure, but she ends up, it looks like she's just rushing a Gore Drinker instead of looking for that Blade of the Ruined King, as they might try to look for bot lane with an early double rotation down here. SSU needs to just kind of get out of here because they are very much in a risky situation. As we do see,
they're in a risky situation, but they're turning around on the Poppy. Poppy went in way too early, did not have her teammates there. Going to be ulting the Rel away, and the ult's going to be coming down on the Azir to kite away from this, so they're not going to get anything under that tower. And so even though you said that Sion might have wasted stuff, he's playing with his team right now. He's down 50 CS, but he doesn't care. He's tank. He just wants to help out his team, make sure he CCs, and he makes sure he gets pressure across map that right now Aurelia just doesn't have. Now, that's dangerous, though, because if Aurelia can get ahead and she can get that lead, she's going to be diving that backline very, very easily. Ooh, nice ability going to be coming down on the Thresh. Going to be forcing the Thresh slash away. That new item change, what's that item called again?
Everfrost. They added a Kendall gem to it and gave it an extra 50 HP, so they made it a lot easier to build into it. And so it actually got a massive buff in this latest patch, because before you would just kind of get two awkward pairing of items and then spend 1,500 gold to try to upgrade. But now you can buy a Kindle gem, give yourself a little bit more sustain bulk, as they were trying to look for something onto the Azir, it just goes away. But picking up that Kindle gem, it only costs 450, so it makes it a lot easier to build. As the really going to
be engaging top here. She's using that 2-level lead right now to try to kill the Sion, but as we said, the Sion's just so tanky right now, she's not going to be able to get a full kill on him, especially with him being as close to the tower as he is. Sion right now, I would say it, he's simping for that tower. He doesn't want to leave it. It's his best friend.
Another thing you have to be looking out for is, I think most likely Aurelia is just rushing the Gore Drinker. If she ends up doing that, she's going to lose a lot of kill pressure over the Sion, because a lot of the thing that makes Aurelia good in Sion, that early Blade of the Ruined King, makes it so, as we see engagement in that bot lane, Flashed away by the Sivir. Rel looks
Engage
to
going to be coming out.
re-engage.
Rel going to be coming into the re-engage. Going to be getting onto that MF. MF going to be forcing to flash away and going to be able to survive from that. Nico's going to be coming down here. Might be looking for the dive. So we'll see how this is going to go. Irelia still pushing up here. Doesn't have a lot of mana to fight here. Arctic Wolf knows that he has an advantage on her with the amount of mana he has. So he's going to be looking to just push up and trade with her.
But we're just seeing a bunch of I call it like semi-random action as Arctic's looking to go in on the low mana Irelia. Jerbear is here, and it looks like they should just pick up this kill on the Irelia for free.
Yep, and Irelia doesn't have any mana, so she's not going to be able to fight this back at all. There's no pressure on the other side of the map, no objectives for Poppy to get. So Poppy's just roaming up here top lane, not sure what to do, not quite being able to match up to the Lilia ganks.
It looks like I don't know my new items. Apparently Pickaxe does build into Blade, and she does end up picking that up. A little miscommunication, I feel like, on SSU's behalf, that kill going over to the Scion. I really would like to see that on the Lilia so she can start snowballing a lot more effectively. As they try to do a little sneaky stuff to the Azir, and he's just going to do a little shuffle and get out of there. Burn his ult.
Get out of there with his ulti. That's interesting. Azir has been very defensive with his ulti this game, which is very interesting because, as I said before, the biggest team fight potential they're gonna Oberlin's gonna be able to have at all is gonna be looking for an Azir wall in team fights to be able to split the enemy team, and I don't think that's gonna be happening.
I think that's very interesting too, because Dragon's spawning in around 50 seconds, and I think if SSU times this right, they could have a potential to go get the Dragon with Azir not having ult. Now, if they wait just a little bit, Azir might get his ult up in time, but if they just try to burn that down as fast as possible as soon as it spawns, Azir probably won't have wall for that fight.
No, not at all. And it looks like Lilia is going to be resetting here for that wall, so that's going to be really big for them. Irelia, once again, trying to fight the Scion. I don't know when she's going to learn. It's not working. She's trying to kill him. She's getting stronger, and she's now starting to do a little bit more damage to him. But I still don't think she's going to be able to kill him outright, because even if she does, she's going to be low enough that Scion passive is going to take her out. So regardless of what she's able to do, even though she does have a lot of lane pressure, she's just trying as much as she can to get pressure top lane, but that's not where the pressure needs to be applied. The pressure needs to be bot side for that Dragon, and right now SSU has that pressure with the Lilia. Lilia is now 3 levels up. Oh, huge sleep gonna be coming down onto the enemies, onto the Oberlin. Oberlin gonna be falling. Poppy gonna be going down. And then, of course, Thresh is gonna be falling. Irelia teleport gonna be coming in. Double kill gonna be coming out on the Lilia. And, of course, that's gonna be a triple kill onto the Lilia. They're gonna rotate onto that Dragon. Lilia is huge right now. That is an ace for SSU.
And the thing is that Irelia, as she did have that TP advantage, she did use her ult lane use her ult to try to get a lane kill on that Scion. And she didn't have her ult for that fight. If she had her ult for that fight, that could have went very different with her Oberlin, because there's a lot of members.
Lilia had. Oh, you mean Azir had ult for that fight?
No, I was talking about Irelia. Irelia went in there without her ult, and if she was able to land that ult onto 2 members, that could have been another Q or 2 that could have actually ended up in the deaths of some SSU members. But because she didn't have that option, SSU got a clean ace and completely turned this game into their favor, and they're in a very good position going into this 20-minute mark.
Yeah, and right now, Irelia, as you said, she keeps trying to burn it to kill the Scion, which she hasn't been able to kill at all. She keeps trying in vain to take out that Scion when she needs to be holding her ult for team fights. And right now, she's not holding her abilities or anything for that Scion, or for the team fights, of course, because right now she's just trying to engage a Scion, which isn't really doing much for her.
But we could see that we finally saw the fruits of Jeremy's labor, getting those very good jungle sequences and the massive farm lead he got. Just shows that in this team fight, in that last team fight, he's just so far ahead of this Poppy. As Thresh is going to try to hook Humble under tower, Nico's
gonna have to use the ulti.
Be safe.
Yep, gonna have to use the ulti to keep that shield up. Lilia and Scion gonna be going on the Irelia once again. Irelia, she feels like, it looks like she's playing solo queue right now. She keeps trying to push down the lane solo and hoping for the best, trying to get the pressure in the lanes that she can. And right now that's not working. SSU has the lead on the jungler. The jungler is going to be in that lane every chance that they can be, especially when Dragon's not up. And Dragon's not up, so Lilia is going to be topside. And right now Oberlin's just not tracking that. They're falling behind, and it's very difficult for them to follow that jungler and where Lilia is going to be.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, one of the big fear factors that could have been on SSU is that this Irelia comes out of control, that she's able to start 1v1ing the side on that side lane. She's able to build a lot of pressure up, but with her just dying 5 times in this first 18 minutes, she's just really not going to come online until very late in the game, and it might even be too late when she comes online, because she's not in any point of contention to try to like pressure the side lane very hard against the Sion, because Sion can just chill under tower, just clear the waves, let his team do all the work, look to TP in. His team's just picking up objectives. They're going to get a Rift Herald that's going to be used to crack in this mid tower. They'll probably rotate up, take the last top outer. Nico's looking onto this Azir, Zero coming out, and tower going up, and Nico's just going to walk away.
Yep. Nico just keeps trying to force Azir to utilize his abilities, and the more she keeps doing that, the less Azir is going to have his ultimates for team fights. Right now, Oberlin continues. Oh, it looks like Engage going to be coming out for the Azir. Nico going to be turning it around onto the Azir and take him out before he can do damage.
That was just kind of random from the Oberlin's Azir player, because he just uses R. He doesn't have any way to get Nico under tower. That's actually a kill if he does have his R, because he could have ulted her under tower, but he just doesn't have it up. So like it was just a random play by him. It gives SSU even more of an advantage.
Also, I have been playing Azir quite a bit, but that was way back in Season 4, and so I don't think the items that Azir has right now are what he typically takes. Isn't he supposed to rush a Nashor?
As we see engagement on by the ADC players going down with their Gale Force, MF ult going wide, thrashing it out, and as you were saying,
Irelia going to be engaging on Humble Gamer here. Humble Gamer going to be taking down Irelia, just trying to play that solo queue game. Going to get a huge shutdown gold onto that Nico.
I just want to point out, Irelia is building a Bomby Cinder, which I'm going to be real, is just going to stunt her lane dominance and team fight power even more now, because she's just going to be lacking damage that she was already behind in originally. And with your comment with Azir, the Azir items nowadays actually is a rush of either Leandri's or that Lynn's Echo. I think you go Nashor's around second, but I also think you can go for the Rylai's. I think is, as we're seeing,
Sleep going to be coming out onto Lilia. Thresh going to be flaying the Rel away, but too late. It's going to fall. Rel going to have to flash away. That slow being really big underneath that tower. But Rel is going to be able to flash out just fine. Dragon is going to be coming up here shortly in just a little bit, so we're going to see a big contest from SSU here.
Now, it's going to be very good if Oberlin's actually might be able to pick off Jeremy here, since Jeremy's very much overextended as team was backing. We see if he's going to try to run around, try to delay him, but I feel like he will go down and give a good shutdown over to one of the carry members of Oberlin. But the Sion is here, trying to see if they could walk him out, but they're in a 4v2 scenario almost.
Yeah, they're in a 4v2 scenario, but keep in mind that right now, Sion is very tanky, and as long as Jeremy can get away from this Irelia, he's going to stay alive. Arctic Wolf looks like he's going to be taking a lot of damage from the team right now. Going to fall to that Leandri's burn. Humble Gamer still kind of running from them. Going to be flashing onto the MF. MF going to be flashing away. Going to get that Q off onto the MF. Not quite going to finish her off. And it looks like this might be a dragon for Oberlin. Ooh, a big Q coming out onto the entirety of Oberlin from Sivir. So the damage coming from Sivir, Lilia is still alive. She managed to escape that fight in the bot lane. So right now, Oberlin's going to be a bit scared here. Lilia's Nut going to be coming down. Sleep going to be coming down onto two members of Oberlin. Mitch Fortune going to pick up the kill with the Q. Right now, Jeremy once again running from the Irelia. Thresh going to be getting chased down. MF ulti going to be coming down onto the ADC. Rel going to be having to run from the MF now. MF going to get a kill here onto the Mitch Fortune after he gets a double kill. Jeremy going to have to just clearing wards in the back line here. Rel's just kind of zoning off here, looking at that MF, being like, what you doing here? You can't be here. This is my dragon. Rel going to be going in on that Misfortune. Going to get the slow off, and it looks like it might be a 1v1. Rel versus Misfortune, and Rel is going to take out the Misfortune. Sion going to be ulting just a little bit too late. Not quite going to pick up the kill. Lilia going to be able to secure that dragon, and SSU is now 3 Drakes in the game at 22 minutes.
Now I think SSU needs to simmer down a little bit. Humble going for a deep TP that when two members was already kind of like dead in the water a little bit, they need to try to calm down a little bit, because if they can give these shutdowns over to priority members, now that Irelia very much stunted her build going Sunfire, so she's going to take even longer to come online now. But if it can go over to that MF or Azir, they can come very strong team fight presence in these later game fights that as this 4th dragon comes around, they near their 2nd to 3rd items.
Yeah, and right now I definitely think that SSU is significantly ahead with a lot of their items and their team fight pressure. They're continuing to keep pressure on objectives where Oberlin just can't pick up that slack because they keep using their ultimates in these small little team fights here or there. Here we go again. Azir once again trying to ult, going to be looking to get onto the Sivir, going to be able to take her out with the Leandri's, but he is going to fall to the Rel and Sion.
Yeah, I feel like Mitch kind of underestimated the damage that as we actually might see Humble might go down to this Misfortune here as he might walk into her. It looks like he should just get out A-OK.
He's still trying to run. Everfrost's going to be coming down, but a little too late. And Misfortune is just going to ult to secure the kill.
But this is kind of scary for SSU because they do have late game like damage and DPS characters on the side of Oberlin. If they're able to keep picking up these kills and stalling the game out and praying SSU to further their lead, taking jungle camps, getting those neutral objectives, they might be able to turn this game around. But you have to still work out because that Lilia is so far ahead of the Poppy. She is a tank, but she's not that bulky compared to the Scion and compared to this Rel that have been building their like bulk up for the last couple minutes here.
Yep. And I really ended up purchasing a Sunfire cape here, or what is that called now? Sunfire Aegis is what it's called now. Picked up that Sunfire Aegis and is going to be a little bit more tanky in team fights, but is going to lack the damage that she would usually have if she was building a Triforce.
Yeah, I think she just felt like she couldn't go Gore Drinker anymore after the nerf, and I feel like she felt she was falling behind. But most of the time in League, if you're playing a bruiser style champion, you want to get damage if you're behind because you want to be able to apply threat, being like more of a glass candy style, especially when you pick up that early blade.
Right, and it's interesting to see the Irelia's just steamrolling on the CS here, being able to keep that lead over Scion, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to matter too much with the Lilia just gapping the jungle right now. Almost 3 levels now at this point. Lilia's going to be coming out of this jungle so high in level that Smite contests are going to be very difficult for Oberlin to be able to take. And with Lilia being who she is and how fast she is, and the Sivir ult as well, no one's going to be able to catch that Lilia in team fights, so it's going to be very difficult for Oberlin to catch that Lilia out and take her down before they can focus an objective.
Another thing to point out, she ended up going, Jeremy did go for that demonic embrace, trying to get a little bit more tankier burn, get a more AoE over time, as Humble is looking to go in onto the Azir here.
Azir going to be hitting his ultimates, going to be hitting his ultimate onto the Nico going to have to flash to get over that wall and take out the Azir. Azir just doesn't have that damage quite yet to take out the Nico.
But you can see he is starting to get there because before those fights weren't even close, but now he's starting to get those damage down, get the Sand Soldiers. He's going to be able to apply a lot of DPS. If Jeremy goes this, he is building on Zonias. If he can get the Zonias off before this next dragon comes out, it's going to be very difficult for Oberlin to try to lock down this Nico who has so much damage over time effects that's just going to leave like them stunted almost. Like if they get hit by a Lilia E, they're going to be taking like massive chunks of burn damage to their health. If it hits that Poppy, Thresh, Irelia, some of these more healthier members, they're going to be completely shredded before this fight even starts.
Yep. And our local friendly Azir player, Eric Gloldrin, in the chat is saying that Azir went Crystal Scepter for the Lilia, but I don't know if that's worth it for over Nashers. And I agree. I think that last fight that he tried to take against that Nico, if he didn't have Ryalize and he would have had Nashers, he probably would have been able to 1v1 that Nico. And especially in team fights, if he's looking to out DPS the enemy team right now, that Nashers would have been much more powerful into this mid game as they're trying to then transition into late game here as the Baron pressure and Dragon pressure increases.
Yeah, the Zero really doesn't have to worry about applying that extra bit of CC because he does have a Thresh, he does have a Poppy, he does have a Irelia ult and his own ult to be able to peel off most of the members. So the Irelia, or not the Irelia, the Ryalize is more of a blunder, and he's going into Demonic Embrace after that. He's just going way too defensive that he's going to lose a lot of the offensive potential he could have if he did go for something like the Nashers or the, I don't know, what's another offensive item that mages take nowadays?
I'm not quite sure. They're gonna be able to hit the nut onto the Azir. Azir gonna be slept here in the back line. Rel gonna be looking for an engage on the Poppy. Poppy ulti gonna be coming off. Misfortune ulti gonna be coming down to 3 members of SSU. Nico gonna be coming in behind. Gonna get a big ulti off onto 2 members of Oberlin. Oberlin, Irelia gonna be coming in here. Huge Q coming out from Arctic Wolf on 4 members of Oberlin. And SSU is going to be cleaning up here. Irelia is just dishing out the damage. And of course, the Azir is going to be falling here, and that's going to be the 4th drag and soul for SSU.
And if you were looking at that fight, it was a brilliantly played fight by SSU, letting Oberlin use all their disengage tools and then pulling them back into their team so they could get the DPS off, as Oberlin doesn't have too much re-engage on their side of their team. And Jeremy Bear had a very good sleep onto the Azir because it threatens the kill on him, and it also puts him out of the initial start of that fight for a very long time. Azir didn't get in there till late. If he was there at the beginning, that fight could have went into Oberlin's favor, but him being out of it for so long just basically stunted any of the lead that he does have over in that mid lane.
Yeah, and this is going to be big for SSU because they're now going to be securing this Baron here. Poppy is going to be trying to take this, but I don't think she has the smite advantage, so Poppy's just coming in with low health and just going to be giving up some free kills to Jeremy as he's going to be now steamrolling his own jungle, just picking up these final buffs here.
Now, SSU keeps playing how they are. They play these side lanes, they walk the waves, and they just play very cleanly. The game is basically over for the side of Oberlin. But if they did have a couple instances in that mid game that they did get picked. If those picks do happen, Oberlin can still potentially come back in this game. But if they just clean it up and just keep it nice, simple League of Legends, they should just be fine.
Yeah, they should be very, very fine and very comfortable in this game as long as they keep this steamrolling lead. It's 24-9, SSU sitting comfortable, so they're not looking to close out fast. They know that their lead is huge. They know that they have the damage. They know that they have the scaling advantage and team fight advantage in every part of this game. So right now SSU is looking to just slowly close out this game and choke out the enemy team.
Yeah, and also looking at this, if you do look, this Azir being in the side lane makes it very difficult for Oberlin to deal with the siege that could be going on. Now, SSU, they need to pick up at least 2 of these last remaining outer turrets, or hopefully they get all 3 of them so they can start pressuring the inhib and try to maybe get one to crack open the base. But that's going to be a very good point of contention. And they are already picked up 2, and it does look like Oberlin's a little like expanded and like they're drawn out and not in a good position to look for a counter engagement onto SSU.
Yep, and we're now at the point in the game where Irelia is no longer able to 1v1 that Scion. He's just tanky. Even though he's behind in CS a significant amount, he just out-sustains and out-tanks that Irelia, especially being 5-1-5. He's been assisting his teammates and picking up little kills here or there. He just has a huge advantage over this Irelia.
You guys see Oberlin's falling apart a little bit. They don't really know how they want to go about defending these bases as SSU just keeps walking and just getting a little bit of chokes. They even take down that mid tower, and they're probably going to get a mid inhibitor because Oberlin, and they got the bot one. They just don't know how they want to end up defending this.
Yep.
Irelia can't beat the Scion anymore. They can't really engage in the mid lane because of all the CC and heal that SSU have, so they're just kind of being pulled apart right here. As Lily does get engaged on.
Lily is going to be getting engaged on. Ultimate going to be coming out from the MF. Going to be not securing anyone. Ulti going to be coming down from the Sivir. Sivir going to be able to secure that kill onto the Irelia as she dives to the backline. Poppy going to fall to the Sivir as well. Nico's going to be coming across here underneath the Azir tower. Going to get the quadra kill. Are we going to see a penta coming out for Mitch Fortune? Is this a penta for Mitch Fortune? I don't know. Looks like they're just going to be looking to close out this game with these 2 towers here. And it looks like SSU is going to be taking game number 1.
It looks like they're actually paying for the pentakill, but and the Azir just comes out. And it looks like they will close out the game. Mitch is probably not going to get his penta here as the Azir does take him down, and the game 1 does go into the favor of SSU.
All right, that is amazing. Big, exciting first game for SSU. That Scion Q and that team fight on the Dragon completely turned around that fight because SSU was actually losing that fight. They had all of their members caught out. The MF ulti had hit 3 members. Sivir was hurting in the backline. But, of course, that Scion Q came out and just wrecked 4 members of Oberlin. That potential glimmer of hope they had was just smacked down as Arctic Wolf just threw down the hammer. And with that, we're going to be going to a break as we move into game number 2. Welcome back to game number 2 of Oberlin Red versus Shawnee State. And we're going into ban phase. And right off the bat, we got that Morgana ban. We're coming off, SSU right now is coming off of an adrenaline high of game number 1 and just steamrolling Oberlin Red. And Oberlin Red was just stomped on, and so they're looking to either bring this back or they're going to get snuffed out. So we're going to see how this game is going to go. Gangplank ban going to be coming out on top lane once again. Shen ban going to be coming out. These top laners here, big fighters. Arctic Wolf doesn't want to fight, so he wants to ban away that Gangplank. The top laner doesn't want to have something that disengages him, the Shen, so he's going to keep that ban away. Once again, Seraphine ban coming out. Such a high priority pick for both teams. They don't want it to be had. Senna ban going to be coming out as well. Senna's incredibly strong with that Kraken Slayer build with the Rage Blade. Her damage is insane with how much she can scale into the late game. Oh, and it looks like the Ivern pick might be coming out here for the jungler. Going to be taking that away from Jeremy. Not going to want him to be on that. They're just hovering it right now and don't know if they're going to be able to take it. They're going to have to take it here because if they don't take it, Jeremy's going to be getting this in the next pick phase. And it looks like they are going to be taking away that Ivern, going to be giving that to their jungle Wildheart. And now pick phase is going to be coming out here for Arctic Wolf. This might be an ADC, it might be a support, and it might be a jungler here. We know what the enemy jungler is, so they can easily counterpick this jungle here. So they might be looking to easily counterpick this jungle Ivern here. And it looks like the Rel pick is going to be coming out here. Going to be keeping that priority target onto the Rel. Now they're going to have options for ADCs here. We might be seeing a Misfortune pick coming out here for the ADC. We could also see that Sivir again coming out from Mitch Fortune, which of course was very big with that Duskblade, the Executioners, and just all of the damage that he was able to dish out that last game. And no, it looks like the Lilia pick is going to be coming out onto the jungler. So that another high priority pick going to be given back to Jeremy. We saw him just steamroll in the jungle and just out jungle that the enemy jungler last game, Oberlin's jungler. And in this game, I think we're going to be seeing that again. Lilia right now, her clears are just super fast, and even though Iverns are also fast, unless Ivern can get jungle ganks off before level 6, Irelia is going to be able to hit that level 6 margin and be able to get off really good ganks before any others. Janna pick going to be coming out for that bot lane, going to be looking for a little bit more peel than what Thresh could provide last game. Irelia pick going to be coming out once again. The top laner was very comfortable on that Irelia, but unfortunately was playing a little bit solo queue in that top lane, so we're going to see if that he's going to back off that aggression a little bit and going to look to play a little bit more team fight. Humble Gamers hovering the Scion for Arctic Wolf here, and the Scion is going to be locked in. So we're going to see that Scion Irelia pick top lane again. So Irelia might be looking for early picks and dives onto that Scion. But of course, if Scion can just sit back and make that tower his best friend, there ain't going to be no chance that Irelia is going to be able to take him out. Zoe ban going to be coming out just as last game. Looks like our bans are going to be very similar as they were last game. So we might be looking here to see some more bans coming out. Probably mid lane bans, maybe some ADC bans. They might not want Mitch to have that misfortune, so we're going to see the Sivir ban coming out. They don't want to face that Sivir again. Her movement speed and damage was just too high for the enemy team to be able to take out, so they're going to take that away from him. And so we're going to be seeing another ban coming out here from SSU, probably the same ban they had before. Ooh, instead they actually swapped it out for an Azir instead of the Syndra here. They were a little bit more scared of the Azir and the potential that he could have. And as we noticed last game, the Azir built a little bit strange for what a typical Azir could have gone in that game. And so if they would have given them Azir, it's quite possible that he would have switched up his build and gone for something that would have done a little bit more impact in that game. So it looks like the final ban is going to be coming out here for Oberlin Red. They're going to have 0 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like they're going to be banning Misfortune. I knew that ban was going to be coming out on the ADC. They do not want the ADC to have his comfort pick. After all, his name is Misfortune. Mitch Fortune. Yeah, you see it there. All right, Mitch Fortune is going to be up here picking, going to be looking to hover that Ezreal, and we do know that he is pretty strong on that Ezreal. Definitely a comfort pick for him here. Oh, and it looks like he's going to switch over to the Jinx. I'm excited to see this. Oh, maybe it's Ezreal. It's Jinx. Who's it going to be? And it looks like it's going to be Ezreal. I was excited to see the Jinx, but that's okay. We get the Ezreal anyway. The Jinx, I know, the reason I was excited for it is because I know she's incredibly strong in this meta, and it's going to be taken by Oberlin. That's very interesting to see. So they hovered the Jinx and decided not to take it, and now Oberlin was able to take that priority pick, and they locked it instantly. So that was almost a read. For SSU, but they didn't take it. Unfortunately, they went for Ezreal instead. And it looks like the Yone is going to be coming out for Humble Gamer here. This will be a very interesting fight to see, especially against that Galio. Galio, of course, does a lot of damage and a lot of CAC, but Yone is going to be able to get on him in those early levels where Galio just can't really take that Yone too much. The Galio is going to be a very interesting pick here because if Irelia can get to that backline, Irelia is going to be able to just deliver that Galio right to the back line. But of course, Ezreal is a very slippery ADC. It's going to be very difficult for them to get on top of him, and it's going to be very difficult for them to CC him down. Just overall, looking at the two team comps we've got here, this is going to be a very interesting game as we had in the first game. We'll see if SSU is going to steamroll Oberlin Red here, but we're not quite sure. So we'll be back right after this break, and we'll have Turtle in here to do a pre-game analysis. Hello and welcome back, Turtle Strike, to the hot seat. How do you think that draft went?
We got once again, we got the same basically 3 core champions we had for our last team comp. We just switched out the mid and the ADC pick. The comp they're going for is a classic Ardent meta hyper carry, make sure they don't die style type of comp. They're gonna, and with this Irelia, they're actually gonna probably trying to force a lot of 4v4 scenarios. That's why in the end we ended up going with the Yone, because Yone has a lot of good early pressure on the Galio, being able to try to push it in, make sure Galio can't get the roams off. Once again, we got that Lilia for Jerbear. The champion's been popping off a lot with recently, and then we just went for like more safer pick on the Ezreal, so we don't have to worry too much about Irelia Galio engage. And so looking at it, there's gonna the 4v if we it's a full 5v5 team fight front to back, they will have the advantage around 25 to 30 minutes once they get those moonstones. But if we can get any picks or any early engages off that could surprise them, we very much can easily run over the team that they have going there.
Yeah. It's very exciting. I'm excited to see this game number 2, especially with how fast that Lilia was able to get ahead on the Ivern, or excuse me, the Poppy last game. So we'll see if he can keep that steamrolling pressure on top of that jungler. You and I both know that jungler is very comfortable on Shawnee, and that's going to be very difficult for him to follow up because Shawnee plays incredibly different than Ivern. So if he's not comfortable on this Ivern, we're definitely going to see that this game. Just hit the plus button there.
And then
on
as
our
we're
stream,
going in, it looks like there could be some early action as there are some pings coming down the map and they're moving out as a squad. They could be looking for an early invade here.
Yeah, it looks like the early invade going to be coming out on Oberlin Red. With a lot of CC that they do have, they are definitely going to be looking to catch somebody out here. Shawnee State's just going for that 5-person protection, and it looks like it paid off. Going to be able to spot Oberlin Red as they go for their invade. Oberlin Red's invade going to be smacked out of the way. Not going to be able to take anything here.
Now, I think looking into this match, I'm going to criticize the jungler for Oberlin real quick because one of the crucial things I thought about last game was his early pathing was not the greatest. He would leave a bunch of camps up and he slowly started falling behind. And with Ivern, getting that pathing advantage is very crucial with this champion. So if he's unable to get these good sequences or good camp to gank ratios right, he's going to fall extremely far behind like he did last game. And he could end up not having any worth even though they have this double support setup here.
Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to go because they're right now trying to scale into the late game, but if Ivern can't get to that late game, it's going to be very difficult for him to stay alive in team fights so he can subsequently keep his own teammates alive.
It looks like he's going to get the clear out. It looks like he's going to go I wonder if he's going to try to do the little blast cone trick that Ivern can do with his Q. It's kind of efficient, kind of not. I kind of like doing it because it looks a little fancy and saves like 2 seconds, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be doing it here, but that's okay. Lilia gonna be on her Gromp right now. Ivern gonna be just kind of walking past his wolves, and he's marked all his topside camps, so he's just waiting for his stuff to come down. He's going to his bot side camps right now. Lilia on her wolves right now, gonna be taking those up. Irelia once again trying to get that early pressure onto the Scion. Not gonna really be that effective once again, because if Scion can just sit back and be comfortable, he's going to have huge pressure in this late game as a tank.
And as I was talking about early camp like grabs and stuff, he did do that blue setup, but he's going to fall behind because he's going to lack the marks on his bot side, so he is slowly going to actually fall behind like I was talking about. As Jerbear is looking to pick up his 5th camp, actually he's going to go straight to the Krugs, delay that red buff just a little bit, sequence his camps up so he can build a good farm lead.
Yeah, and it's very interesting to see bot lane pressure already increased once again. This is very similar to what it was last game. Top lane had pressure, bot lane had pressure, and Lilia had all the ganking room she was able to have. Ivern looking for a cheeky invade here, and it looks like he might be able to get this off, considering that he is able to just kind of sneak past here in the jungle, and he's going to be able to secure that red buff, and now he's going to be heading back into the mid lane here. Lilia going to be looking for a gank onto the Irelia. Irelia backed off before she's able to, but not before Lilia grabs a quick Dark Harvest stack.
I kind of like this cheeky steal, and with this early pressure, Jeremy needs to worry about this crab. He needs to like wait a little bit, let him CS and rotate over, or it could go bad. But in the end, he will end up picking up this crab because obviously Ivern can't start without marking it. And even though he took away that red buff, if Jerbear might be able to get a double crab off if the bot lane... Oh, it looks like Jake or Gazelle Flip is chunked out, so he might not be able to get that double crab that he was hoping for that could make up for that red steal.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. Knowing how things went last game, Lilia might be able to level gap this Ivern, but right now Ivern is matching Lilia very well. So right now it's pretty even across the map, aside from the pressure that top and bot have. So Humble looking for some damage off onto the Galio once again. Ivern going to be missing his Q, going to anticipate that. Galio going to be coming in, getting the taunt off onto the Yone. Yone going to be forced to flash away. Lilia going to come in, get that slow off onto Ivern. Ivern going to be trying to walk away. Lilia Q going to come down, hit the Ivern Q going to miss, and the mid lane fight is going to fizzle out with a Yone flash.
That's actually a little big, Yone losing his flash early, because Galio has very good setup for this Ivern that also has CC that could come through. So if he doesn't get 6, they might be able to maybe get a cheeky kill onto the Yone and make him fall a bit behind. But Galio's probably going to get a good back in here, shove these last couple minions in, and get a good base off, which could set up for early roams or this dragon. Ivern's looking to invade onto this Lilia here. Jaber's going to look to fight him, though, because he can push him out. Ivern doesn't have too much damage.
Jeremy has the pressure. Unfortunately, mid lane and bot lane both have the advantage right now, and so they're going to look to just come up and protect that Ivern as he runs away from the Lilia. Dragon is up right now, and Oberlin Red could have attempted for it, but I think that would have been in their disadvantage, so of course they did not decide to go for that Dragon. They're going to go ahead and just let that stay up as they go back to their typical roots of pushing out and keeping pressure across the map.
And I'm going to point out, like, last game with that little, like, the plays that are going on, Jerbear is starting his second full clear of the game, and Ivern still has those unmarked targets. As Galio goes under the tower and has to flash away because he got caught with that E. Tumble goes in trying to get, maybe try to get a cheeky kill. He needs to be careful he doesn't get sniped by a Galio Q and taken down, because that could be very unfortunate.
Yeah, and it looks like he's gonna stay for a little bit longer. He does have 6 right now, so he knows that he can have that. He knows he can kill that Galio, but he also has a very big wave crashing the tower, so he doesn't want to engage here and risk dying unnecessarily. So he's just gonna pick up that wave as Galio backs here. Irelia once again just fighting that Scion so close to tower, just trying to poke him down as best she can. Same thing we saw last game. She just continuously keeps trying to push this Scion out, but burns all of her mana. And now we've got Lilia sitting topside, ready to look for a gank here. Scion just trying to bait this out here a little bit, stepping up a bit further than he normally does. Lilia's just backing in the bush, making Irelia think she's leaving. And of course, she's gonna go in, gonna lose all of her mana on that engage there. Galio teleport, gonna be coming down onto the top lane, gonna be trying to anticipate that. Galio going to be looking for that Irelia here, or the Lilia on the top lane. Teleport gonna be coming out from the Yone to match the Galio. Lilia gonna have to run away from the Galio. Scion Flash gonna come out onto the Galio, gonna get the Q down. Yone not quite gonna be able to take out the Irelia in the backline. Galio looks like he's gonna be punished for this. Scion's gonna follow him over and get a kill with his W. First blood for the game goes to Arctic Wolf.
Yeah, and looking at that, that is very good for SSU side, because they do have the onus on them to get an early lead and gain that first blood back onto that Scion. Scion's gonna get bulkier and it's gonna be able to survive in the side lane. Hopefully Aurelia doesn't go for that Sunfire like she did last game, as they're poking down Mitch heavily under tower, but he is going to end up safe, because Jinx is, yeah, she's nowhere near 6, so he doesn't have to worry about that, but they're going to lose a wave to the tower in a cannon wave nonetheless.
Yeah, that's going to be a very bad back. Ooh, and it looks like they are going to stay. They might be greeting for this here, but they do have Jeremy coming up lane here, so he might be looking for a nut and might be looking for a very easy engage. Oh, and on the mid lane here, it looks like we got an engage coming on the Yone Galio. Yone does not have flash here, so this might be a kill into the mid lane. Rel going to be taken out by the Janna, unfortunately, and Humble Gamer is going to fall to the Galio.
Yeah, they got a little too greedy in that bot lane, trying to jump in pre-6 with that Jerbear not having the sleep yet. And so they were able to not actually be able to turn that around. I think Jerbear might have been able to chase, since there is very low mana and HP, and he was full HP and had his flash up. So maybe just a small little misplay there on his half. But Shawnee got a little too aggressive, and that could come to bite them, as even though the kill did go on Janna, that is kill going over to Jinx, and it does delay the early game prowess they did have.
Yep, and I think right now Oberlin Red is looking much better than what they did last game, and I think that is just attributed to the fact that right now Ivern is actually able to match that the Lilia, because before they weren't anticipating that Lilia to get as head as she did, and that I definitely think cost Oberlin Red their early game and ultimately the entire game.
Another thing I just want to point out is that Ivern, because of that bot lane going wrong, Ivern's actually able to keep up more on CS than he is in the last game. So we thought that he could fall behind like he was a little bit, but it looks like he is coming back, and that's going to be very dangerous for SSU's side, because that's a point of pressure that Oberlin is going to be able to create once that Ivern can come online with like that Moonstone staff. Moonstone or into like Ardent. I think he would probably go for staff because there's pretty good AP ratios on the side of Oberlin. But we will end up seeing.
We're going to be definitely, I think, during this early part of the game, until about, I'd say about 15 minutes, this is just going to be how the game's going to be playing out. Oberlin Red's just going to keep their slow progress here, going to be taking the little fights they can where they can, just going to be keeping those pressure in those side lanes and letting Ivern just clear where he can. And as long as they don't let Lilia get easy ganks off, Oberlin Red's going to be able to prevent that snowball that Lilia had last game.
Yeah, and right now it looks like they are stunting that though with their they're giving some good early pressure. As there looks like there is going to be engagement on this low mana Irelia, as Jeremy Sleep is not going to come down as they do see the Ivern. Oh, actually a commitment by the Scion.
Scion going to be getting it off. Sleep going to come off onto the Irelia. Irelia going to be taken down, taken very, very low, and going to be taken out by Arctic Wolf. Ivern just not going to be able to do much. Going to have to queue and walk away here. So unfortunately that 2v2 went in SSU's favor in this case. And it looks like Humble Gamer's going to be walking here first.
It's just going to miss though.
Just going to miss. Humble Gamer going to have to walk away here from the mid lane. I don't think he wanted to take that fight. Going to have to ult away. Ooh, a very fancy ultimate over the wall to get Humble Gamer out of a bad, sticky situation.
Yeah, and that's actually really good for, it stops a little bit of this ball that was rolling into the favor of Oberlin. Hopefully Jeremy's able to pick some camps up to try to get back in the lead. There is a very big farm gap that they get close that kill going over. And so the goal is in favor of Oberlin, and that could be a point of contention. But the thing is, no one's gone for this dragon yet. Both teams, I think, might have opportunities to go for it, but the dragon staying up is going to be very dangerous for SSU because they kind of wanted to be able to get maybe an early push, early advantage, and be able to snowball that dragon.
Yeah, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to go, especially because Oberlin is not pressuring that dragon as much as they should be. Ultimate going to come down on Janna, going to prevent that engage from Rel, but as we know, Rel's W is going to come back up very quickly, so she's going to be able to look for another engage. I think the Thresh was just better disengage against that Rel, but I think in this current stance, we've got the Janna who's being able to pressure and keep that just peel up against that Rel. Not going to let her get that engage coming down.
Yeah, it looks like SSU is trying to get a little bit more onus on this dragon. They're trying to see if they can get in the river, find anything. Johnny gets tagged up by the shield. I think she is maxing her.
Rel might be looking for an engage here. It looks like SSU might go for this. The traps are going to come out for Jinx, going to prevent that. Irelia just trying to push down this Scion once again, but Sion's got his item. He's got his Bomby Cinder. He's going to be out tanking this Irelia, especially with how close he is to the tower.
Yeah, and Gallo is looking for a reset here. It looks like this game's gonna like fizzle out just a little bit with the action, but it does look like they're trying to take control over the river, and SSU could get pinched off here, but it looks like they're just gonna get the crab as Oberlin doesn't want to buy off more than they can chew.
Yeah, and I think Oberlin right now is playing it safe. They don't want to give SSU any chances to snowball like they had last game, because Oberlin gave those chances. They gave those chances away to SSU to snowball, and SSU took those chances to snowball. And right now SSU is just trying their best to maintain that dragon pressure as best they can, while Arctic Wolf is just slugging it out over this Irelia here. Irelia taking it a bit too close to the tower and gonna get punished for taking that tower dive twice in a row.
Yeah, this Irelia is just, I guess she just loves that tower on the side of Arctic Wolf, because that's like, I'm pretty sure that's 2 times now that she's gone for early dives onto a Scion that has a bunch of utility up. And with her being down, that gives TP advantage over the favor of SSU. It looks like they're going to try to convert that into an early dragon, but they do have to watch for that Gallior that could come down at any moment.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We got the dragon fight coming up here. SSU is on top of that dragon. Teleport going to be coming in for the Irelia. Rel ult going to be coming down onto the back line. Going to be getting a stun off onto the Janna and to the Jinx. Rel going to be having to walk away. Jinx going to get that kill in the sink. Going to get a Q onto the Ezreal, and Jinx going to pick up a double kill here. A big ulti going to be coming down from this, a big sleep coming down. Humble Gamer going to be able to pick off that Jinx. SSU is now trying to salvage something here. Galio's just trying to keep them off the back line. Irelia going back in once again, going to try to dive for that Humble Gamer. Humble Gamer is going to fall to the Irelia. Scion is now trying to slug it out and get away. Lilia is just trying her best to stay alive here. Not going to be able to do that. And Oberlin Red is going to come out on top on the team fight and going to be able to secure a dragon here.
Yeah, and it looks like there's just a little disconnect from the side of SSU because they did have a very good engage on the rail, but no one was there to follow up on that engage. The Galio art came down where the Irelia TP'd into the pit, and they were able to prevent SSU from collapsing on Janna and Jinx, who got picked off by that rail. And so if that fight, if they just slowed it down, maybe came back and gave the Rel a chance to use her CC, the Yone and Ezreal combo with Lilia might have been able to provide enough damage to turn that fight around. But with that fight going bad for SSU and the dragon getting picked up, there's going to be a lot of options now for Oberlin going into these fights. So they're going to be very dangerous going into these. As Jinx has that Kraken finish. It looks like the Moonstones, both of them are about to be completed on Ivern and Janna. And Galio's going for more of a utility style with that Oblivion Orb.
Yep, and I'm wondering if SSU is kind of regretting their decision not to pick up that Jinx, because as we both said, Jinx is very strong in this current meta, and that could have been a very big game changer. Ooh, the damage coming out from that Ezreal. He's got his Essence Reaver completed, and that W is just dishing out that extra damage. So even though Jinx does have her Kraken Slayer, Ezreal seems to still be able to match her up on damage, even though she's got 2 kills up. Humble Gamer just clearing some wards here. Gank going to be looking to come out on the Ivern top lane, but not going to hit the Q, so no Gank is going to be able to get off in the top lane here. Jinx going to be able to go over and pick up that red buff, so this is going to be tough for bot lane to be able to take this out. SSU's bot lane is going to be struggling because right now they're facing a 2-1 Jinx with red buff and a Kraken Slayer.
Yeah, and the thing is that I feel like SSU's bot lane might have gave a little too much of this Jinx Janna. Maybe the lane matchup didn't go as much as favor as they thought it could, but it felt like they gave so much to the Jinx Janna that even though they have a stronger early game, maybe on paper, maybe they didn't push enough, and now they're kind of even going out of this, or actually, I guess behind because Jinx was able to pick up so much in that last fight.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting looking for SSU here. It seems as though right now the favor and the pressure is coming out on Oberlin with almost 2k gold lead right now. Mitch looking to get some damage off onto the Janna. They're going to have to kite away from that. Ezreal, even though he is a little bit behind the Jinx, he's still able to dish out enough damage to be a huge impact. Humble Gamer going to be able to take out the Ivern ulti. Daisy's going to fall here. They're still trying to take that. Ooh, ulti going to be coming out to dodge the Irelia. Galio going to come in onto the Irelia. Going to be able to take down Humble Gamer. Sleep going to come off onto the Lilia. Lily going to be coming in here. Going to be able to get a double kill onto the Scion. Scion going to be chasing down the Galio now. I think Oberlin just got punished for taking that rift. I don't think that was the fight they wanted. And now, right now, they're trying to salvage what they can. Janna going to have to ult away. Lilia going to miss the nut here. Scion going to be following in here, getting a extra damage off onto the Galio as he runs away. And no one else is going to fall on Oberlin's side. Jeremy just throwing some extra damage down here. And, of course, that's going to be a fight in SSU's favor. Very big fight, indeed, because that was what SSU needed to bring this little gap, the big gap that they had, and they've now shortened that gap. And if SSU can keep up that pressure, they're going to shorten that gap even more and be able to bring it back.
Yeah, another thing looking at it, it's like, it's just a little unfortunate these kills are going on the side because you would really like to see them on that Lily. But picking up these kills, they stopped the Rift Herald, they stopped the snowballing pressure that was falling out of their favor. Galio gets a taunt and trying to peel off the Scion, but it looks like they're never going to be able to kill this guy here.
Scion just has so much damage. Irelia going to be coming back in, hit the stun on the Humble Gamer. Humble Gamer is going to be going in here. Lilia just trying to kite him away. That slow coming out. Q going to be coming down from Scion. Scion is low on mana here, so he's not going to have his utility. Lilia is going to be taken out almost by... Ooh, Lilia gonna take a, or excuse me, Irelia gonna be taking a huge amount of damage from the Yone, and Yone is gonna be able to back off, dish out that extra damage, and Sion's gonna be able to finish off that kill.
And in the bot lane, it does look like there was a double kill that went over the side of SSU. I'm gonna go back real fast just to give a little context behind on what happened down there, because a double kill fight going in the favor of SSU is very large because it let them get the shutdown that was on this Jinx.
Ooh, they did get a fight off bot lane. I wish we could do a replay on that, instant replay. See that bot lane fight. So it looks like SSU just took that lead. And as you can see, there was a 2k gold lead for Oberlin, and Oberlin just forfeited that lead with those 2 fights there. The one at Rift and the one at bot lane and mid lane. And because of that, now SSU has the game is now back in their field. SSU is now going to be playing their game, not Oberlin's game.
And looking back onto that bot lane, I did a little back checking. It just was Oberlin getting a little too aggressive. They kind of went in they grouped up on the Rel Ezreal, and Rel got a very great and fabulous CC combo as Yone is going to get engaged on mid lane.
Yeah, he's going to get engaged on once again. An ult's going to be coming down for Irelia. He's going to ult away here and then going to have to E back and going to flash away. He is going to survive that. Ooh, 2 ultis, 3 ultis coming down to turn the fight around for SSU, and they're going to get a double kill
And
in
now
the mid lane.
Oh, but Jinx does time off
Jinx
the Humble
ulti going to be
Gamer.
coming off here. Going to pick up that Humble Gamer. Sion going to be looking to follow this here. He's a little bit mad that he took out his mid laner, and now he might get punished here. Jinx not being able to dish out that damage on the Sion. Sion just going to walk away once again. Those 5 kills on Sion are really big. He's very tanky right now. SSU's looking for a fight here. They want to be able to secure that dragon, so they're trying to keep this pressure up. They're now turning to go to the dragon. Oberlin doesn't want them to have that dragon. Nice poke damage coming out onto the Jinx. Some extra damage coming out from Irelia. Gonna get that CC down. Ivern gonna be going into the Dragon Pit, trying to get that kill. And the Dragon's gonna be secured by the Jinx. But unfortunately, in the back line, Irelia is gonna fall to the Ezreal. Now we've got TP coming in here from Humble Gamer. Humble Gamer looking to go onto that Jinx. He's actually going onto the Janna instead. He's looking to kill her. Jinx is just kiting away here. Gonna be able to keep alive. Galio gonna be coming back in. Get another kill onto the Jhin. Jin's gonna fall here. Zanya's gonna be coming down on the Galio. Ivern gonna get a Q off on the back line, and SSU looks like they're gonna fall here. And they're unfortunately gonna lose a dragon, and a triple kill is gonna go over to Jinx.
They do end up picking the dragon there, but SSU got way too overzealous. They thought they had the advantage, but they forgot about Galio. Galio going down so early on in that last fight, he was able to get back with R, and overextending. Jinx picked up over 1,000 golden bounties. She is now 2.3k gold up and has currently 3,500 gold in her inventory. That's that's an entire item that she has in her inventory right now. She's gonna be able to back. So even though she fell behind Mitch, going this lethality Essence Reaver build on Ezreal, she's gonna be able to just purchase it all back, and now she's actually ahead of him. And now that SSU is stopping the pressure, they're gonna actually be in a very dangerous spot at how far ahead this Jinx got snowballed.
Yeah, I think SSU forced that dragon a little bit too hard, and they unfortunately got punished for it. With that dragon secure, the Jinx got her passive off and was able to rush into that team fight and take down. And Humble Gamer tried to salvage it with a teleport in the back line and trying to go onto the Jinx and the Janna, but unfortunately just didn't make that happen. Sion going to be coming in here, getting a slow off with his ultimate onto the Irelia. Irelia going to be taking some massive damage, going to be diving towards the tower once again as she just dances around the battlefield. Sion just now walking towards her, just showing who's the boss, showing who has the damage. Irelia ulti going to be coming off, and unfortunately, Irelia going to fall to the Sion. Sion's 7-1 right now. She's trying to fight a tank that has more damage than she can dish out.
As Humble is trying to engage onto this Galio, trying to force him out as he now turns back onto the Ivern. Teleport coming
Teleport going to be
down
coming in from base. Sion going to be coming in here. Lilia going to be coming in here. Ultimate going to be able to secure the Ivern. So that went from bad to good in SSU's favor as Humble Gamer is able to pick up a kill onto the Ivern, and they're going to be able to get a tower here. And they might be able to get some Baron pressure off of this as well. Ivern is dead. Jinx and Janna are in the back line. They've got Galio backing right now, so they know, SSU knows that they can take this Baron here. This ain't no SSU Baron. We are changing the definition of the SSU Baron right here.
This
we are
could
taking
end up
the
being risky though, because they could get caught in the pit here with a Jinx and a Galio. But Yone's actually going to get picked off before the fight even starts. Actually, that shield mode keeping him alive for a little bit longer, as SSU is not turning as they're going to try to complete this Baron, but they're using so much resources, trying to get
Red team. SSU is going to be able to secure the Baron here, but I don't think they're going to be able to get out with it because they've got people following the back line. Mitch isn't going to have his E to get over the wall, and Jinx is going to secure another triple kill in the Baron fight, and Lilia is going to be the only one to get away with that Baron.
Yeah, and SSU they just greeted too hard. Irelia was on her spawn, she was respawning. Gallia had TP to come back in. Humble was out of position vastly before the fight even started. If he was at the beginning of the fight, they might have actually been able to turn off and fight, but instead they committed to the Baron. They end up picking it up, but it only stays on Jabber, and they're probably going to lose an inhibitor here. Actually, they're probably just going to lose an inhibitor tower, because I don't think they're going to greed, because it would be very bad if they did. But once again, this Jinx picks up 3 kills. She's got another 2,000 gold in the bank. She now has, I'm assuming that's an IE, has enough gold for her IE. And looking at that, if she has enough gold for IE, she's going to be doing so much massive damage as Humble's going to go in onto the Jinx. But the thing is that he has no backup and he's just going to drop down again, and Jinx is going to pick up another kill and get even more gold. And this dragon's coming up in 50 seconds, and Humble doesn't have he might not have his R for that fight. As things Sion's actually looking to try to pick off this Jinx who didn't recall with her teammates. And SSU is looking to, they are actually going to pick up this Jinx maybe, but Ivern is there to peel off with the Daisy as she just keeps on kiting away. SSU goes in, tries to look for stuff on the thing. Good Galio taunt on cross 2 people. Lilia goes in with a 3-man sweep. Ezreal's dishing out the DPS. He moves forward onto the Galio. Sion goes down, starts beating him down as SSU is able to pick up a couple kills and chase off Oberlin. Now they might be able to turn this into his dragon as the Humble Gamer is up and ready to go right now. Ivern still hasn't back. Jinx is looking to back. But they're going to have to end up basing here because they are also low on their side. And coming into this fight, you can see that SSU is going to have some early prio. If they can get some vision out, deny some of the vision that Oberlin could have placed, they are still walking back, so they might be able to burn out this dragon before Oberlin's even in a position to contest. With that, they'll be able to they're going to pick up the second dragon and get out nicely. Jinx are uncapped damage, almost stole that. Hopefully SSU just walks out here as the Irelia TP is coming down. Humble Gamer getting CC'd, having to flash out. Irelia is going into 4 people.
Yep, Humble Gamer going to be in the back line here. Humble Gamer going to get a huge ultimate on 3. Ezreal's going to follow that ultimate off here. Janna's going to be trying to follow in here. Flash going to come out from Galio. Q going to come out from the Sion. Going to hit 2 members of here. Lilia's, now they're just trying to kite away. They're trying to save that fight. They got the dragon, and now they want to get out of here. Also, apologies for going quiet for a bit. Forgot to unmute my mic and didn't unmute it.
Yeah, it's all good here, but now you can see that all of these massive kills and shutdowns they were getting on the Jinx is finally turning around and biting in the butt. They were in the lead, they had the advantage, they had strengths, and they just kind of, in a way, almost inted it away by picking some very poorly timed fights. And now they're not gonna, as they're actually going to try to see if they can look for something on the Jinx here, but there is 3 members
trying to pick another fight on the Jinx. They're not going to be able to, I don't think they're going to be able to capture this in time. Ooh, a nut going to come out onto the Jinx. I don't think Lilia has ultimate here to follow up on that, so Lilia's just going to turn onto the Janna, going to be able to take that Janna down. They're looking to just take out this Jinx here, but she's going to get away with her passive, just going to be able to speed away. Irelia ulti going to miss 2 members of SSU. She's going to be able to get onto that Lilia. Lilia Zonya's going to have to come down. Rel ulti going to come down on 3 members again. Ezreal ult's going to come in from the side and just barely miss. Jinx sitting in the backline being protected by the Galio once again. CC going to come down. They're going to get that shutdown onto the Jinx, and the Ivern is going to fall as well, and SSU is going to be able to get those shutdowns once again.
Now it's SSU's AC turn to pick up an overextended triple kill as they get aced. And as we were talking about, they did have a very massive lead that they were able to pick up from getting picks. The counter just happened to them. They end up getting picked. They give random gold over to SSU. SSU is going to be able to take some map presence back, pick up some waves. Mitch is going to be able to pick up some gold, close that gap, because there is a 4K gold gap right now in that bot lane. The Jinx has 1,400 gold to Mitch's almost 1,100. He's just 300 gold shy. But Jeremy also got a big 1,000 gold shutdown in that fight, so Jerbear is going to also be doing massive amounts of DPS coming into these later fights.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very big for SSU, and I'm super excited to see how this goes because this game is really exciting. It's been a tug-of-war fight all game. You know, Oberlin lost that first game really heavily. They weren't expected to get pushed down that early on, but now they're coming back fighting. They got back up, and they're increasing their strength by 2, and they're definitely trying their best to not go out quietly here.
And you see, if you do look at Mitch's items, he does pick up the Serpent's Fang. The reason why this is very good for SSU is that Serpent's Fang deals an extra 157 physical damage to shielded targets.
Yep.
If you look across the sides of Oberlin, they got Janna's shields. They have Ivern's shields. Mitch is going to be doing some massive damage to whoever ends up getting these shields in the fight, as they're looking to get a little bit damage down on the Irelia as Jake goes in. But now he might be able to get some return damage, but they end up just backing up and nothing occurs from that.
Yep, Galio's just going to be pushing down this top tower here. We've got Galio and Ivern on the top side of the map with Baron coming up in only 22 seconds. So it looks like Oberlin's trying to get some early Baron pressure with that top side push. And Godzilla Flip is going to have to be very careful about his engage here, because if he engages on the wrong target at the wrong time, he's going to be slowed in a team fight with no one able to back him up. So SSU is going to want to take this fight slow. Right now they're trying to stay grouped. They see Humble bot side. He doesn't have TP, so they're going to have to play this very, very slow and very, very carefully. Baron is up. Humble doesn't have TP. It is now a 4v4 with no one able to collapse on a 4v5 scenario. So SSU is going to have to play this slow, because if they don't play this slow, they're going to be at a big disadvantage. It looks like Nut's going to come down on 3 members of Oberlin, but the Sleep's not going to come out because obviously SSU doesn't want to fight this. They're in a big disadvantage right now. They have a lot of gold under their belts, and they want to back and use that gold before they're able to fight. And it looks like Oberlin is noticing the backs, noticing that SSU is backing off here, so they're getting pressure onto that Baron, and it looks like they're going to turn onto this Baron. They might start this here, but I don't know. They're just doing a Baron dance right now as they're waiting to see what SSU is going to be doing. And it looks like Dragon's going to be coming up. Baron's going to be started here. SSU, Jinx is just going to melt that Baron. I don't think SSU is going to be able to answer this here. They're just going to have to let it fall.
They do end up picking up. Hopefully SSU can realize the situation. They go get bot pressure so they can get this Drake and maybe threaten a soul. Because if they can pick it up here, they can look at around a 36-minute soul. And this soul is going to be a very important factor because it will turn around the game. All this damage that they're picking up, all of a sudden this Scion's going to be doing a lot more DPS. The Rel, she's going to be doing more DPS. And those are the factors that can turn around a fight, because Rel necessarily doesn't do that much damage. That's what she's known for. And she might end up getting picked here. She's going to get chunked just before the dragon starts, gets over the wall. And Oberlin is not really in an area to contest this dragon right now.
SSU is wanting to pull this back. Irelia's TP just came up, so Irelia is going to be TPing in here. Jinx going to secure the Infernal Drake and not going to be able to get this. SSU, Mitch is going to fall to the Galio in the backline. Jinx going to be dishing out that DPS. Scion's going to be trying to get on the backline. Unfortunately, he has no backup, so he is going to fall to the Jinx again. And so TP is going to be coming down. It looks like Oberlin might be wanting to finish out this game here with that Baron buff. They're going to want to try to engage here. Galio looking to get onto the Lilia, but Lilia is just dancing around him, not letting him get onto her.
If they're able to clear out the waves, they might be able to just barely stall out. They got about 20 seconds on members, then the wave is a decent ways away. So they look like they will barely hold on here, but now they do not have the threat of Soul. Jinx sniping away the dragon with her W is very large. They might, Oberlin could overextend here actually if they're going to be staying in this base for so long with member coming up, as they're going on
Looks like they're going to go into Lilia. Jeremy's going to get the Zhonya's down. Rel going to try to engage, not quite going to get that engage off. Jake's just going to be melting the entirety of SSU here. And it looks like Oberlin is not going to go out lightly in game number 2 here. They might be able to finish this game off here. We've got Arctic Wolf and Mitch up here. The stun going to come down onto the Galio. Galio going to look to kill the Ezreal in the backline. Jinx just kiting away from that Scion, and it looks like Jinx is going to be going for another kill here. And unfortunately, I don't think that is going to happen. And it looks like that is going to be game number 2 over to Oberlin.
Yeah, and look at the game. One of the big issues SSU did have is that they were just not respecting the Jinx. They kept overextending in so many fights. One point the Jinx was 1 in like 3, but they just gave her a couple too many kills, and she was able to turn around the game and snowball back into the favor of Oberlin. And we're going to take a short break here as we prepare to go into game number 3 of the series of SSU versus Oberlin.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much. Hello and welcome back. We're going into game number 3 with our picks and bans. Once again, the Gangplank ban coming out for the top lane. We might be seeing similar bans. We might be seeing different bans for SSU here, especially after that Jinx game last game. They do have the advantage here, so they might be wanting to take that Jinx off of Oberlin's hands. So we'll see how this is going to go. Same bans as the first round. We have the Morgana and Gangplank bans coming out here. Now they're just thinking about their next ban here. 7 seconds here to go as we look for the final next ban here. And it looks like the Senna ban going to come out. So, of course, we saw that in the previous games as well. So they're just thinking about that third ban. They're saving that extra slot for what they want to ban. Oberlin looking for the Seraphine ban once again, keeping that out of both teams' hands. It'll be interesting to see how this is going to go. Knowing how powerful Jinx got last game and how much of a problem she was, we might see a Jinx ban here, or we might see Jinx left open. If Jinx is left open, it's most definitely going to be picked by SSU here. But instead, they opt to get rid of that Sejuani because they know that that jungler on the enemy team is comfortable in Sejuani and they don't want him to have it. So we're going to have a lot of priority picks for SSU here coming up, and they're going to have a lot of options on what they want to pick for this first item here. They can pick up that Jinx, they can pick up the Lilia, or they can pick up the Ivern. Regardless of what 3 of those priority picks are, they could have some very hard games coming up here. And the Sivir ban is going to come out. Okay, knowing the Sivir ban is going to come out, I'm thinking here that we might see a Jinx pick here because they don't want that ADC to have the Jinx. And if they give them the Jinx here, they could easily pick a Jinx Janna bot lane and roll with that once again. So SSU is going to have to pick around that, or they're going to have to pick for that. So right now we're going to see a Jinx pick, or we're going to see something that counters Jinx. And it looks like it is going to be the Jinx pick, of course, because we know that Mitch Fortune plays it as well. All right, and it looks like we're going to have some response picks here. So we might be seeing the Ivern. We might be seeing the Rel, maybe? I don't think they're going to pick Rel. We might see a Thresh, or we might see a Janna here just to counter the Rel, because I think they're anticipating the Rel pick coming out for Godzilla Flip once again. So they're going to want to try to have incredibly high disengage. We might also see a Galio pick as well, because that Galio was really strong in the mid lane, and I don't think they want to force their hand and show that Galio quite yet, but if they do, it's going to be very strong. Oh, and it looks like the Syndra pick's going to be coming out. Now, as we know, the mid laner was banned out quite a bit in these previous games here. So having that priority pick on the mid lane is big for them, but it's also even bigger for SSU because now they can respond here. They can respond to that Syndra with the ban, and they can respond to that Ivern. So SSU has options on what they want to pick. They can respond to the Ivern with a Lilia jungle. They can respond to the Syndra with some other counter, maybe like a Lissandra. We can see a Diana here. You know, any number of... Oh, and we see the Skarner coming out for Jeremy. as we know, in this most recent update, Skarner has come out of the woodworks, out of freaking nowhere, as a very strong pick as a jungler to be able to pick off high priority targets. And it looks like Humble's going to be hovering the Ziggs here. Ziggs, again, I know he's very comfortable on it. I've seen him in previous games on it. He does have a tendency to push up quite a bit, but he is very comfortable on that, and he knows how to play it. But he's going to switch over to the Neeko. Instead, he is going to be playing Neeko against that Syndra. A little bit more comfort on that pick. As we know, when Neeko came out, he played it a ton in every lane he possibly could. So he is very comfortable in that Neeko pick and knows the champion very well. So now we're going to be having a pick, the final pick for the first picking phase, and it looks like the Jhin is going to be coming out. So that means the Jhin now has his comfort pick. He has pulled out his wild card, and obviously his name is Jhin Diff. So he is very comfortable in that Jhin pick. He knows exactly how to play it. So we're going to see how this is going to go. And with two people being able to peel for him already with his jungler and mid laner, he's going to have a lot of peel this game. So Skarner's going to have a tough time getting to him. So he's going to definitely hold on to Turbo Chem Tech, and he's going to be holding on to that flash to dive that backline Jhin to make sure that he pulls him down. Looks like they're going to be banning away the Rel. They don't want to see that Rel in the game. Rel has been able to make some huge plays in some of these fights, so it's something that Oberlin does not want to have SSU in their hands. SSU now they're going to be looking for a ban. They're going to be they know that the support and they know that the top laner are up, so they're going to ban out the support here. They're going to ban out that Lulu, and we might see an Aurelia ban here, but I don't know if SSU is very scared of that. They've seen how the Aurelia plays. They know that if they get the Aurelia, they can take that Scion into it. So we might see a Scion ban here, believe it or not. If they ban Scion, that means that Shen is open for Arctic Wolf, and Shen is going to have a very easy time top lane. But if they don't ban the Scion, they're going to ban the Shen here, most definitely. And it looks like it's not going to be any top laner bans. So all top laners are on the field for Arctic Wolf to play right now. And it looks as though Arctic Wolf might be playing his signature Shen this game. We might be seeing that Shen come out, and especially having that Shen come out onto the Skarner, that's going to be huge because that's going to be able to get instant two-man dives onto that Jhin to prevent him from steamrolling in team fights. And especially with just the Syndra in the mid lane and no high damage in the jungle as Ivern, they're not going to have a lot of pick potential. And with the Karmagon as well, they're not going to have a lot of peel potential either for this Jhin. So unless they have a heavy peel ADC or heavy peel support here, like a Janna and it looks like the top laner is going to be taking the Shen away from Arctic Wolf. So the Shen was open, and now Arctic Wolf is going to have to figure out what he wants to play into that. He's very comfortable on that Shen pick, so he's probably going to be looking to play a counter pick to that Shen. He knows how to counter pick the Shen. He knows how to play Shen, so he knows exactly what he needs to do against that. And it looks like he is going to be hovering the Scion here. Oh, he might be hovering the Urgot, and he does go Urgot. He's going to be going Urgot into this Shen here. And I don't know how this top lane is going to go, but knowing how that the enemy top laner has been playing these past couple games, he wants to go aggressive. He wants to push it here. And so it's quite possible that Arctic Wolf is going to be able to take that advantage and turn it around because Arctic Wolf has been playing super, super safe these past couple games. And now knowing that there's a Shen over there, he's going to be able to go much more aggressive and apply that pressure top lane. And it looks like the Janna pick is going to be coming out for that bot lane. I knew there was going to be some sort of peel ADC that's going to have to come out here, and it definitely is going to be the Janna. And with the Taric pick coming in for the ADC, that means this Jinx is going to be very safe this game. Taric is going to be able to peel entirely on his own for that Jinx and keep him alive. And the only people who have high damage on the enemy team are Syndra and Jhin. And that's the only two damage dealers. So unless Syndra and Jhin can get to that Jinx, they're going to have a tough time killing him with the Taric on top of the Jinx. And with the Neeko as well, being able to get full wide CC and, the Skarner being able to pick off at least one of the carries, the Jhin or the Syndra, this is going to be a very exciting and a very powerful game for SSU to bring this back. They're switching up their comp entirely from what they were going before, and they're ready to come out within this third game with all holes barred. They're ready to come out as they're coming out slugging. All right, and with that, we're going to be going into the loading phase. We'll get Turtle back in here, and we'll ask him what he thought of the picks and bans. Hello, and welcome back to game number 3. We don't see these too much, but when we do see these game number 3s, we know they're definitely going to be hype. So, Turtle, how do you think that picks and ban phase went? I was excited to see the Skarner being popped out for Jeremy here in the jungle.
We saw the early pick with the Ivern and Syndra, and Jeremy wanted to go for something to be a little bit more kind of mix aggro on and have like very effective ganking points. And with the Skarner here, with them showing early Syndra, it allows for Humble to pick something like a Nico, and that sets up for like a very easy flash R onto Syndra and maybe get a nice early kill on. And if you look across their team, the only real disengage they have is maybe a pushback for Syndra, a Janna Tornado, Janna R, and there's very good alt targets like across all the members basically. Like even though like it's weird to say you can just grab a Shen, you could grab a Shen and easily with like a Nico Jinx, you could pretty much burst in like the Urgot, you can very much easily just burst them down real quick and be able to deal a bunch of DPS to him.
I know the one thing I'm excited to see this game is how the Skarner is going to be engaging that backline. And the only reason I say this is primarily because the only two damage dealers on their team right now are the Syndra and the Jhin. And given that those are the only two damage dealers, as long as Skarner can grab one of them, Oberlin's going to have a very, very tough time being able to dive that backline, because obviously Jhin and Syndra being the only damage dealers, they're not going to be able to touch that Jinx who has the Taric on top of her. You know, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to be able to dish out damage to priority targets while they themselves are being targeted for various different things as well.
Yeah, another thing looking at this is that the thing is that it's more of the threat of the Skarner R is scary for the other team. The threat of that any second now the Skarner can just go forward and just try to pick someone off real quick, and they will get bursted out. This Jinx, Urgot, and this Nico, they're gonna be able to just burst someone, just blow them up, they're dead. That's it. 4v5, and they're gonna try to go for more. And with this threat, the thing is the threats they have are not consistent DPS. So we have Skarner and Taric that if it's a well-placed Taric R, it's just going to negate any threat of DPS that Oberlin side could have. And so the thing is that looking at this game, it's going to be how it was for Oberlin. They needed for SSU last game. Oberlin needs to get the aggression. They need to be looking for these mid-game fights. They need to be looking to be able to take options to be able to turn the game around for them, because if the late game is on the side of SSU here, because they have Jinx and they also have the Taric.
Yeah, this is going to be a very exciting game to see. Let's just hope that we can get our visuals synced up here. Just going to have Travis fast forward here. Our backroom fast forwards to the visuals on stream are the same as what we see here. And once that's all synced up, we'll see that SSU did try to go for an invade real quick, but nothing really happened, and it was just a 5-point protection from Oberlin as we now go into the minute 50 here. Skarner just cleared his red buff, now moving over to his Krugs. He might be looking for full clears. I think Skarner is going to want to just focus trying to get skulls, trying to get XP. He's not going to really focus on these early ganks. He wants to get to that level 6 as soon as he possibly can.
As you see, an early trade in the bot lane. Nice little trade, get a bit of DPS on her. She has to burn an early potion, very good. I hope Jeremy's able to do it, but I'm 80% sure Skarner can get a 3-12, 3-10 clear, so he can full clear and be able to contest that first skull crab on the same time.
Yeah, it looks like Syndra's actually stepping up into the jungle right here and just being a little bit cheeky, trying to keep the Skarner, just getting some eyes on where he is and trying to get some damage off on him. Unfortunately, that's not going to do too much, because the Skarner is just going to clear his jungle and continue to move on, and Nico's just going to clear the way.
I actually want to point out one thing. Because of the Raptor XP nerf, I'm pretty sure Raptors had their XP nerf. Syndra picking up that one small Raptor prevented Jeremy from getting level 3. And so Jeremy's actually going to have a bit of his early game stun. And it's actually kind of weird for this Ivern path. It looks like they might try to go for a cheeky dive of some sort, but they should know that Skarner did his entire bot size, so the Ivern's wasting a lot of time here. Hopefully SSU can scout him out so they don't get cheesed by him or anything, and they end up do. So Skarner's actually going to lose a lot on this top side of the map. as there is
Ooh,
a
and it
trade in
looks
the
like
top lane.
Urgot's going to be going in on the trade here. Shen going to be punished major for taking that engage there. Syndro low on mana in the mid lane. Nico has the advantage there on the mana. Going to be able to push out, get some more damage off with passives and some Qs as he's going to be backing off here. Ivern going to be looking mid lane for a gank here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get one off. Nico's on the right side of the lane, going to be able to stay alive. Taric stun going to be coming down. Jin just trying to get that 4th shot on a target just to get some damage out. So right now, the SSU's bot lane's having to sit back, just waiting for that 4th shot to end. Once that 4th shot's gone, they can step back up and continue farming.
Yeah, but this is what you're kind of expecting in this type of lane. If you have two ranges with very good attack ranges against a Taric Jinx, they're going to get poked out early. They're going to take a lot of DPS. Thing is, as long as they can get as much CS as they can and keep the losses to a minimum, only being down, hopefully only going to be down around 2 CS. That's very good for the situation they are because they are down in this lane.
Yep, absolutely. Jeremy is doing a really good job of reading the top laner here, knowing that Shen is going to want to engage and knowing that the Ivern is going to be there. And so right now we've got an engage in the top lane here. Going to miss that stun onto the thing. 2 teleports going to be coming down from both mid laners. Going to be looking for that engage top lane. Stun going to be coming out on both of them. Skarner going to be trying to get some damage off. Nico Q going to come down, and no one is going to fall on either team.
Just barely unfortunate that Urgot E actually picked up the Shen and knocked him away from the Skarner E. So they missed. Yeah. They maybe could have gotten the kill with a well-timed CC. As they're actually gonna look to flash.
Ooh, Nico's gonna flash
Skarner.
in, flash ult, and gonna get 2 flashes here. Both the Skarner flash and the Syndra flash gonna be down here.
Now, I just want to point out, even though the thing is that this Syndra Flash isn't going to be coming up until around the 9-minute mark. And if you look at that, that's going to be a very good opportunity for this Skarner with Flash to be able to look for this or look for this Impale onto the Syndra and try to pick up an early kill and try to maybe snowball that into a dragon.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to go, because right now they've got pressure bot and mid, and so they might be able to go for an early dragon, but it is going to be dangerous, because Skarner does have the advantage, especially if he's able to get his little pyre in the river. Because if he can sneak into the river and get that pyre early, he's going to have the advantage against Oberlin in the dragon fight.
And with those flashes being burned early, like we said, Skarner Tark has become very, very noticeable. So maybe Overlin can try to read that out as they track the Skarner XP as he gets level 6. Jeremy, I think, just a little bit mismanaging his camps because he goes all the way into the bot side when he needs to walk all the way back across. So going for the full clear, he's going to delay his XP just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that much because it seems like Ivern is also wasting a lot of time just kind of roaming around and looking for ganks that aren't there. Flash going to come out from Godzilla Flip, not going to be able to secure that, not going to be able to secure the stun, unfortunately, and that is going to cost them Flash in the bot lane and unfortunately no kill that they were looking for.
Just a little bit overzealous from Godzilla Flip on the Taric here. They don't really need to be looking for those early kills or these early catch-outs because even though it would relieve some pressure and maybe insert snowballing a bit, there's no need for it because having to burn that flash and ignite leaves availability for these dragons for that type of skirmish. He's going to be lacking some utility now for that.
Yeah, and I think he wanted to try to get that pick off there just so that he could have pressure for Dragon, but just because he missed the E, it unfortunately doesn't give them that pressure on Dragon. And so now Skarner's just going to be clearing vision here in the river, just trying his best to make sure that he can stay on that Dragon. He knows Ivern is topside right now, so he knows that there's no pressure on jungle. Bot lane is looking to ping out this Dragon here. They're going to look to engage here. Jin is separated from Janna here, and so if they're able to get a catch here, they might be able to kill out one of them. Skarner's in the back of the Dragon pit, getting stunned out by the Syndra. Syndra gonna come in, gonna get the ult off. Jeremy gonna smite the dragon to stay alive. Gonna get shielded from the Taric. Taric gonna come in. Nico ulti gonna come down. First blood gonna go over to Jeremy. Urgot gonna come in, get an ulti off onto the Janna. Janna gonna fall in the back line. Skarner gonna fall in the dragon pit. Right now, no smites. No smites on the dragon pit. It's a struggle to get this secured. Who's gonna get the dragon pit? It looks like Ivern is gonna be able to secure the dragon here, but Mitch is gonna be able to pick up a kill. Unfortunately, the kill does go over to target, not to the Jinx. And so right now, Ivern is just trying his best to get away. Jinx gonna follow with some rockets here and not gonna be able to secure a kill.
Fortunately, he's not able to pick up the kill, but I just want to point out, Ari was able to come down and get that kill onto the Janna, I'm pretty sure. And so with looking at that, Arctic is now going to have more onus over on this top side of the map, be able to pressure this guy down. A little greedy on the fact of Jeremy going for that dragon with his Jinx being so low, but very good turnaround and re-engage on the side of SSU to be able to pick up and go 3-for-1 in that early team fight.
Exactly. It's very interesting to see because even though Dragon is such a highly contested point, I think SSU just came out on top in that fight because they now have a ton of gold onto that Jinx. Even though she does just have assists, those assists are still significantly more gold than what Jhin has. And so right now Jinx is getting back to lane with a pair of boots in a dagger, which that is going to give, and for Jinx at least, dishing out that damage more readily is just so much more beneficial than just the crit alone on Jhin.
The thing is, Syndra's flash is coming up in about 20 seconds, so there might be like a 5-second window. Jeremy might be able to get in there and flash and R that Syndra and maybe get a kill, but most likely that won't happen. But the Jhin and Janna are both flashless, and Jerbear is looking to be able to get that R down, make this first Skarner R impactful, get something out of it. As he's just chilling.
Yeah, he's trying to stay out of vision. He does not want Oberlin to know that he is there right now. So he's trying his best to just let his bot laners clear those wards and try to be as sneaky as he possibly can as he's going to be looking for this bot lane. His flash is up, his phase rush is up, he's looking for an engage here. And so now right now he's sitting in that tri-bush, he's just waiting for his bot lane. His bot lane is pushing up, there's a really big wave here, so right now Oberlin is sitting very comfortable. They know that they're going to get pushed in, so they're not at risk of getting ganked here. So Jeremy's just going to back off here. He knows he's got no gank there, so he's just going to be like, all right, hey, I know, I'm just going to back off. I tried, and it's not there.
As you can also see in this game 3, both teams are playing a lot more respectful of the enemy jungler. Before you might send maybe the Janna overextending, maybe overextension on the top side, someone can fall down to a gank, but they're very much being respectful to each other this time around.
Right, and it looks like Arctic Wolf just taking it easy once again, sitting really comfortable in front, getting that freeze right in front of his tower, so he's nice and comfy there where he wants to be. Some big damage coming off on Humble, trading in the mid lane once again. This is the exact same stuff we saw both games. These are just the individuals trying to flex their muscles a little bit here, and it looks like Arctic Wolf's going to be getting some damage off on that top lane. Again, small skirmishes across the map, and we've got little individual fights happening all over the place. Jeremy's just trying to secure his jungle buff right now as he's trying to run away. Syndra gonna come in, get the stun. The Smite gonna come out. And Jeremy gonna be able to secure that. Arctic Wolf gonna be able to come here and protect as best he possibly can, just to make sure that Jeremy does not fall here. Nico sitting in the mid lane, looking to get a stun onto the Syndra. Not quite gonna land that. Syndra is gonna land her stun on the Nico. Not quite gonna be able to disengage. So we just got a 3v3 little skirmish here. They're looking for things, not quite getting what they want. They're looking for it, but they're not quite getting what they want.
Yeah, and as you look around the map, there is small CS leads being built up in every lane. But as this Ivern might get picked off by the Nico here, he is flashed with Shen R coming down.
Shen ulti coming in.
Fight. Cancel by Arctic.
Cancel ulti coming in by Arctic. Jeremy gonna be able to grab that Syndra, gonna be bringing that Syndra right to the Nico, not quite gonna get the kill. Nico gonna flash, gonna be able to get that kill onto the Syndra. Syndra ulti coming down on the Skarner, not quite finish that kill, and it looks like they are gonna get an easy invade onto that enemy jungler. Ooh, the ulti coming down onto the Ivern, not quite gonna be able to secure that kill with the damage, but gonna be able to delay the recall, which is gonna be very big for SSU because that means they can now secure an easy Rift Herald without any contest.
Yeah, it was a very good R by Arctic by trying to see if he can snipe out, but hopefully Jeremy notices the situation, goes and gets that Rift Herald. As we say engaged, Arctic is low on mana, so he is not able to trade effectively against Shen. And we see everyone back out. There was an engage on the bot lane that went very heavily in the favor of SSU. They were able to go in, get an early back, and now they're going to be able to get on the map faster than Oberlin and look to try to get this second Drake now.
Yeah, that push was really, really good for SSU because now they're going to have that applied pressure. Nico's going to be using teleport here to also get some pressure in the mid lane. Going to be able to catch that cannon wave. Unfortunately, not going to be able to stop the turret plate from going down, but that's okay. No big deal. Nico's just ready for that dragon fight, and that's why she wanted to teleport back in early here, clear out those waves, and gets that pressure mid lane. Ivern hovering around dragon. Oberlin really wants to try to further this dragon here, so they're trying their best to get a hold of the pyres. They're trying their best to clear out vision. They're making sure that they can get as much control of this river as they can so that they're able to get the vision on Dragon and the pressure on Dragon as they can. Jinx going to be getting some slows off onto the Jhin. Just going to be doing out a little bit of damage as she's now lonely. It's a now 1v1 in lane for the ADCs. ADCs are going to be slowing down a little bit. Skarner, or excuse me, not Skarner, that was Nico. Nico looking for some damage off, a nice catch onto the enemy. Not quite going to get it though. Ulti going to come down on Ivern. Ivern sending Daisy into the thing. Skarner going to be looking for an engage here. Shen coming in, getting a nice stun onto the Nico. Nico's going to be using ulti here, jumping to the back line, getting two members of Two members of Oberlin here. Shen's in the back line just trying his best to kite people out. Mitch doing his best to kite away from. Two flashes coming down. Skarner is going to fall here to the Syndra, and it looks like that's going to be double kill over to the Syndra, and that's two members of SSU down, while Oberlin is now going to have control and pressure of that dragon.
SSU just got a little overzealous because they didn't have the TP available on Arctic yet. He wasn't able to follow through. If he's able to follow through, that's a completely different fight because Urgot has a lot of damage in his kit right now. So that little just wanting to try to get a little bit more of an oomph ended up coming up and turning it around and giving more gold back over to Oberlin.
Yep, and it's just unfortunate that that happened too, because SSU should have given. I don't think they. I know they really wanted that dragon, but I don't think they should have tried for that as much as they had. They didn't have the. They didn't have the pressure. Oberlin got all that early vision in the river, so they had the advantage the entire time in that river, and so they just unfortunately tried to force a fight that wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't know if I think Tarek might have also been down at the beginning of that fight because he still has it up right now. So they were fighting with some ults down too. It's just a mixed up fight and probably shouldn't have occurred.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just trying to. Mitch Fortune is just trying to back here. He's got some gold under his belt that he wants to be able to use. He's a little bit low on HP, so he wants to try to. He wants to try to back. He wants to reset. He wants to get that health. He wants to get some items. But Jin and Janna aren't letting him do that. And with Ivern coming down here, they might be looking for a dive as well.
Yeah, we're probably just gonna. Yeah, Ivern's backing. He's looking to try to get a reset. I'm gonna check his gold. I'm pretty sure he's just a little bit off of this Moonstone right now. So he's trying to stay on the map just a little bit more so he can get just a bit of extra gold so he can pick up that item on his back.
Yep, and it looks like Jeremy is anticipating that Ivern. He saw it down there, so he's just waiting for his bot lane to clear the wards. Once his bot lane's able to clear that vision, he might be looking for a counter gank here. They know Ivern is down here. They know he's trying to get a gank off. And so right now, Godzilla Flip's just playing the devil's advocate, sitting up front and being a damage. Janna gonna have to use her ultimate to get away here, but Jeremy's just too fast to be able to engage here. Gonna get the ulti off onto Jin. Jin is going to now be in the back line, gonna be taken out by the Urgot. Urgot ulti gonna come off. Ivern gonna be stunned under tower. They're gonna follow him under here and gonna get a double kill onto the Ivern. Nico gonna be fighting here in the mid lane. 1v1 gonna be coming off. Humble gonna unfortunately fall to the Syndra. So SSU now has pressure bot side, and unfortunately it's a little bit too late. If they would have had that pressure earlier, they might have been able to get a dragon, but they're gonna get some good damage off on tower, maybe even secure the full tower.
Good thing this time around, Arik is on something that does a little bit more damage, so him picking up these stray kills in the fight isn't going to be as much as a Scion getting fed, but they're going to have a fed Urgot going into this. And Urgot, he got a buff, and if he does go to the Kraken Slayer route, which he most likely should, that got a 25% damage increase on Kraken with his W, so it's going to be a very big thing to look out for.
It is. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this Urgot is going to pop off, because if he's able to do damage while also tanking for his team, this is going to be very, very big for him, because that's going to be a lot of pressure that they're going to have to keep off the back line. Because even if Shen is able to dive this back line here and get on top of that Jinx, you know, the Taric is just going to keep her alive enough that, you know, Urgot's going to be able to dive that backline and do enough damage to who he needs to and take them out before they can even respond.
Yeah, you see Gainus Uri Ravenous is able to get a couple bit of damage. Those kills keep him up ahead. Mitch is farmed up very well. Already has his Kraken picked up. As Jin is by himself, could engage on. Actually, they could. No, just Janna. She's fast enough. She's just going to get out of there.
And Nico just clearing some wards. Once again, SSU trying to get vision here. Dragon is
looking to go another... Ivern might be looking to go gank on the top side of the map right here. See if Jason might be able to get out here. He flashes in to avoid the Ivern Q.
Gonna get out of here. The W gonna come down from the Shen. Shen is going to be doing his best to stay alive here. Unfortunately, Urgot is gonna fall to that Shen, and that's gonna be a shutdown gold onto the Shen here. Looks like Jin is gonna be going deep onto the Mitch Fortune. Mitch Fortune gonna be taking that fourth shot. Gonna miss his ulti here, but is gonna secure the kill. Teleport gonna come down from SSU. Nico gonna be following here. Unnecessary TP, but that extra pressure following the Syndra down is gonna be very big, because they might be able to get first tower gold here.
If Skarner being up, Nico being here, they actually could threaten the flash.
Ooh, ulti coming down onto the Syndra. Syndra gonna be ulted, pulled into the team. Shen ulti gonna come into the back line. Unfortunately, Jinx is gonna fall to the Syndra ulti, but that's okay, because SSU knows that they can chase this down here. They're chasing this down. They're gonna be looking for the kill onto the Janna. Janna's gonna fall here to the Skarner. Now they're just sitting on top of the Shen. Shen is gonna have to taunt away, and unfortunately, this looks like he's gonna get away from SSU.
Even though they did end up trading Syndra for Jinx, Jinx did pick up, I think, was a 300 gold bounty on that Syndra, getting 600 gold in her pocket. Now she is going to be able to forward and get a gold lead over this Jhin now. It has a 1k gold lead. Not that big, but it is enough that it could force a second item just a tad earlier, give her a lot of power.
Yep, and we just see Humble here backing because he doesn't want to take that ward, because if he delays his back anymore, he's not going to make it to that dragon fight. So he's trying to just back and reset as best he can, and Jeremy's doing his best to clear out vision in the river here in anticipation for this dragon. The Rift is going to be coming down mid lane, so they're going to have to contest that, and they're going to have to give up some early river pressure as they contest this contest the Rift in mid lane. They're going to get some stun down onto this. They're going to get some stuns down on the Skarner. Skarner going to be taken out here. Ulti going to come down on target. Going to keep him alive. Stun going to come out on the Nico. Nico ulti going to come down onto the Jhin. Jhin going to be hit here. Nico going to be following. Shen TP coming in. Going onto the Jinx. Jinx is out trying her best to kite away. Syndra Q going to miss. Ulti going to come down onto the Tark. Tark stun going to come off. Jinx going to fall to the Shen, unfortunately. Now Jinx is trying her best to kite away. Unfortunately, not going to get the kill here. Nico is going to get a kill onto Jinx, and they're going to have to back off here. Urgot's pushing down this tower, and I don't think Oberlin's going to be able to take this dragon. They're pinging it, and I think they might be able to get it with this Ivern here, the Ivern Syndra, but it's going to be a very slow dragon.
Once again, SSU not respecting that they do not have a teleport off. If they just wait just a couple seconds, let Urgot, who had the Shen pushed in, start walking down the river, they can make that a 5v5 and force it. They were able to get a couple kills. Jinx picks up another kill. I think overall it went a 3 for 2, I believe, in the favor of Oberlin. But the thing is, SSU is just getting just too ahead of themselves. They're trying to force a little too hard here. They were missing a couple R's at the beginning of the fight. They did end up coming up, but that's just utility that they were forcing them.
I personally don't think that was a forced fight there. That was a really good catch onto the Skarner. The Skarner was trying to clear vision, but he did not have a teammate there, so unfortunately he got caught. It looks like Arctic Wolf might be getting caught here. He's getting ahead of himself, and the Janna's going to be coming in, going to be able to protect that Shen, and unfortunately it looks like Arctic Wolf is going to not fall. He's doing some damage. He isn't going to fall easy, but he is going to fall, unfortunately, to the Janna and not to the Shen top lane.
Yeah, he's overextending. He looks like he's going to end up going for that stride breaker, trying to see if he can maybe use that to try to chase down the Shen. It's not bad. It's going to allow him and his team to have enough like slows, like how Skarner helped the Humble Gamer on the Nico be able to get in and get their DPS or get that ult pull off. I think Kraken is probably better here, just by a little bit, but I think overall it should make too big of a difference.
I personally don't think Kraken's as good, because the only tank on their team right now is Shen. And so knowing that, he's not really going to be dishing out a lot of damage. He would rather be able to get on top of the Jhin and Syndra, who are higher priority targets. He would rather be able to dive them, which I think is why he's going for the slow. He wants to be able to get on top of them, and he wants to be able to slow them down and take them out as his teammate is doing their best, because he knows and he's trusting that the Nico and he's trusting that the Taric are going to be able to peel enough for the Jinx that she's going to be comfortable in the backline. And I think in that one team fight we saw at Dragon that unfortunately lost SSU, the Dragon, and the pressure on Soul was mainly due to the fact that they got separated. You know, they got separated too much. The Skarner got caught, and then each one of SSU tried to salvage the team fight where they just couldn't pick it back. And so that unfortunately cost them the Dragon, and each one of the SSU just fell at unfortunate times. The Taric ult, of course, was blown early, trying to keep the Skarner alive. And so, yeah. And now we see an engage here coming in the Urgot, that W just protecting all that damage coming out. And so now SSU is just doing their best to hold in these little lanes as best they can.
Yeah, and now that as we get into these more fights, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Skarner to try to get any of these ults off. But there is no Mikhail's or QSS's bot on the side of Oberlin. They have not paid their Skarner tax yet. And so thinking of that, they are going to be be able with Jeremy have flash in a fight. He might be able to just get that flash, and if he gets that ult off, John R could potentially screw over a teammate, because if he gets pushed back while he's inspired by Skarner, he's just gonna get pulled back right into SSU.
Yep. And yeah, SSU's just trying to keep this pressure on Dragon, because they know even though Dragon's up in 2 minutes, they know for a fact that if they don't keep pressure on Dragon, that's a free soul. And it looks like that Syndra's just doing so much damage to the Nico in the top lane. Nico's going to have to be forced to disengage here.
Yeah, and it does look like they are going for the double Moonstone setup again. They got Gale Force on the Jhin, pretty standard items all around. It looks like
Jeremy
is
using
looking for
Chemtech going
more.
in onto Syndra here. I don't think he wants to use Flash here. He's just going to be able to pull her back in. The Shen is going to come in. Ulti going to go down onto the Nico. Nico going to fall to the Syndra, unfortunately. On the other side of the map, we've got Urgot trying to fight that Shen. Unfortunately, not able to dish out enough damage to take him out. But he was able to stop the Shen ulti from coming down on the Syndra. SSU unfortunately lost one of their members here, so it's going to be very difficult to keep that pressure in the river here. If any one of them fall here in this upcoming team fight, they're going to lose Baron pressure.
I feel like SSU just forced a little bit too much. You got to remember, they got semi-global on Jin, if he's in the area, is able to lay down some pressure. And they do have that Shen art. Even though Shen didn't get his TP completed there, which could have even had things go worse for SSU's side, he was still able to put around a 500 shield down to allow Jana to get in position, throw more shields down, and they were able to prevent the almost pick that they thought they had.
Yeah, and it looks like we got some pings coming down from top lane and bot lane. The Shen is looking to push out top lane. While the Shen is looking to push out top lane here, as the dragon is coming up, he has his ultimate coming up soon. He also has, he has teleport up, and ultimate will be coming up soon. So that means he is going to be able to collapse on a dragon fight very, very easily, as SSU is also trying to get some pressure on here. They're on a very bad side of the dragon pit as they try to go in here completely invisible. They're going to use that scrying bloom just to be able to see where they're going to be going here. And now SSU's a little bit separated here, but they should be able to join up in mid lane as they clear out vision, just looking for some priority targets. The Q is going to come down on the Ivern. SSU just doing their best to clear vision and stay alive as best they can.
I like how they're positioned up. They're finally positioned for a true 5v5 fight, which could go well, even though there is advantages on Oberlin's side with a couple items onto the carries. The thing is, SSU has so much extra value.
Yep.
Skarner's actually looking for a
Skarner's
pull
gonna
in.
go look in. It's gonna burn that Shen ulti. Shen ulti gonna be coming down. The Nico gonna be using the thing all the way in. Gonna fake him out just a little bit as she runs in there. Now SSU is turning on the dragon here. I don't think they want to take this here, as they're gonna want to try to turn here. Nico's getting separated from the team fight. Gonna have to use ulti here and use Zanya's. Shen gonna be coming in here. The Jin ulti coming out from the back line. Big ulti coming down from Arctic Wolf, fearing 3 of the members for Oberlin. Skarner getting to the Jin, pulling him into the team. Urgot just popping off of the backline, getting the double kill. Going to be able to get the kill onto the Jin here. Unfortunately, Jin is going to be able to get away and kill the Urgot as Skarner keeps trying to chase this here. Double kill going to come out on the Jin. Skarner going to also be able to pick up the kill. That's going to be an ace for SSU and a dragon, and SSU brings it back at 25 minutes.
And what did I say with that Taric? Taric art was beautiful there, preventing so much burst damage that was going to come out and take out the Humble Gamer. I'm pretty sure he got a full team-wide Taric art, preventing, what is it, 2.5 seconds of just being invulnerable, as they threw so much burst into that Taric art that the fight was just basically free pickings afterward.
Yep,
We can see that.
Yeah, and SSU's going to be able to transition this single dragon into a Baron as well. And hopefully, it looks like there's a TP coming out from Syndra. Syndra's going to be TPing to mid lane here. I don't know if she's going to get there in time. The dragon is falling pretty fast with that Jinx there. The Jinx and the extra damage coming from Nico. They're warding up, trying to take this in here. Teleport going to be coming into the backline. Urgot's going to be coming out. Oberlin's caught a little bit. They're going to be able to turn onto the Urgot. Urgot is going to be getting away here. I don't think he's going to be able to get away. He is going to fall, unfortunately, but SSU is going to be able to secure that Baron with the distraction from Urgot, as they now are able to back and have Baron secured.
They now also have a 4.5k gold lead. They're starting to snowball some of these items. They were able to pick up just a fraction of a fight before that the opponent. They're able to use that to punish them over aggression, because I'm pretty sure that Syndra got a little bit ahead of herself, flashing over the wall into four members of SSU, was able to just go down, not able to dish out the DPS and the lead she had over Humble. Now Humble is able to catch up. He's able to start pressuring down and be able to threaten the 100-0 burst options onto these carries.
Yeah, and I honestly think this is right where SSU's team comp starts to shine, because Jin and Syndra both want to try to engage and dish out as much damage as they can. And as soon as they see that engage, as long as the Taric ult gets down at a perfect time, all that damage potential that could be there for Oberlin just doesn't hit where it needs to hit. And so SSU can essentially have the advantage here. Shen going to be trying to engage onto the Jinx here. Jinx going to just be kiting him out. She's got that Kraken Slayer, so she's just going to be melting him in the front line. And that's going to be an unfortunate pick for Oberlin, because now SSU just got another kill onto that Jinx, who's going to be able to steamroll this bot lane here with Baron.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about SSU needs. They just play nice, safe League of Legends here. Slowly push in, take out these our towers, use their Baron buffs, split apart the map. And I just want to point out in that last fight, maybe not everyone knows, but Jeremy held his Skarner R. He threatened the engage, burned a Shen R, a Janna Flash, a Jhin Gale Force, and maybe even a Flash, and he didn't even use his R. And so that was probably one of the biggest turners in that fight, is that they used so much to prevent a potential Skarner R that when the actual utility came down from SSU, as they're looking trying
It looks
to
like a
catch
Jhin
out the
ulti
bot
coming
lane.
in here, gonna catch out. Godzilla Flip just kiting away, using all of his abilities to stay alive. Gonna be able to get his ulti off, preventing the Syndra from killing him. They're gonna be able to get onto the Ivern. Shen ulti, not gonna be able to keep him alive. Gonna be able to get a double kill. Jinx popping off here in the back line. Gonna be just getting that get excited off in the back line. Gonna be able to take this tower down. Gonna get a third stack of that get excited here shortly. Gonna be looking for another kill. Big damage coming out onto the Jhin. Jhin is gonna fall to Mitch. Mitch is now just rolling him down with that extra damage here. Gonna get another kill, just get a kill on the Jhin. And it looks like SSU might be able to use this Baron here to finish out the game.
It looks like that is going to be another game here. SSU is going to take that out 2-1 as they're just trying to pad their KDAs here, get a little bit extra CS. That Jinx is firing rockets, and SSU does.
And that is going to be game number 3 for SSU. GG. And GG to Oberlin as well. You played hard, and it was very fun to play against you. So thank you so much. We're going to go to a break real quick, and we'll be pulling in. I think we're going to pull in that Tariq. Let's pull in that Tariq. We want to hear from Jake on that interview on how he was able to keep his ADC alive. Okay.
bunch of like I call it like semi-random action as Arctic's looking to go in on the Lome Irelia. Jerbear is here, and it looks like they should just pick up this kill on the Irelia for free.
Yeah, and Irelia doesn't have any mana, so she's not going to be able to fight this back at all. There's no pressure on the other side of the map, no objectives onto the entirety of Oberlin from Simmer. So the damage coming from Simmer, Lilia is still alive. She managed to escape that fight in the bot lane. So right now, Oberlin's going to be a bit scared here. Lilia's Nut going to be coming down. Sleep going to be coming down onto two members of Oberlin. Midfortune going to pick up the kill with the Q. Right now, Jeremy once again running from the Aurelia. Thresh going to be getting chased down. MF Multi going to be coming down on the ADC. Rel going to be having to run from the MF now. MF team fight, so it's going to be very difficult for Oberlin to catch that Lilia out and take her down before they can focus an objective.
Another thing to point out, she ended up going. Jeremy did go for that demonic embrace, trying to get a little bit more tankier bird, get a more AoE over time. As Humble is looking to go in onto the Azir here.
Azir going to be hitting his ultimates and going to be hitting his ultimate onto the Nico. Nico going to have to flash to get over that wall and take out the Azir. Azir just doesn't have that damage quite yet to be able to hit the nut onto the Azir. Azir going to be slept here in the back line. Rel going to be looking for an engage on the Poppy. Poppy ulti going to be coming off. Misfortune ulti going to be coming down to 3 members of SSU. Nico's going to be coming in behind. Going to get a big ulti off onto 2 members of Oberlin. Oberlin, Irelia going to be coming in here. Huge Q coming out from Arctic Wolf on 4 members of Oberlin. And SSU is going to be cleaning up here. Irelia is just dishing out the damage. And of course, the Azir is big. And of course, she's going to go in, going to lose all of her mana on that engage there. Galio teleport going to be coming down onto the top lane, going to be trying to anticipate that. Galio going to be looking for that Irelia here, or Lilia on the top lane. Teleport going to be coming out from the Yone to match the Galio. Lilia going to have to run away from the Galio. Scion Flash going to come out onto the Galio, going to get the Q down. Yone not quite going to be able to take out the Irelia in the back line. Galio looks like he's going to be punished for this. Scion's going to follow him over and get a kill with his W. First blood in the game goes to Lilia had last game.
Yeah, and right now it looks like they are stunting that though with their game base very early pressure. As there looks like there is going to be engagement on this low mana.
I grew up making games, so I wanted to make a career out of that. Shawnee being a small school was the thing that drew me to it. Shawnee is nationally ranked in the Princeton list for game design. A lot of the professors own their own businesses. That kind of prompted me to start my own business. I started a game studio. I don't think that would have been possible if the school were bigger, and Shawnee put that all together for me. I'm Dalton, and I invite you to discover Shawnee State University for yourself. Please visit discover.shawnee.edu.